What's going on, man?
Much?
What's going on, my brother from another mother? Hello.
Oh.
Oh, he left. Xanarco Zalgo.
Yo.
What's going on, man? Hanging out?
I just joined Discord and I saw you made this.
Hell yeah. I just made it right now, too. So you popped in right at the right time.
Yeah, that was perfect timing.
Yeah. So how you doing? Good? Hanging out?
Yeah, pretty much.
Chill. I'm doing the same. Just playing some GTA.
Yeah.
Let's see. Installer. Let's see. I've made the room legalize all drugs, guns, and prostitution.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Let's see if people join up.
Sure, some will.
I'm pretty big on debating abortion right now, honestly. Back on that.
You're evictionist, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not much of a disagreement for me on that one.
Because pro-lifers keep like they're right on biology, but they think the debate on abortion is about biology, which is just not.
It's about ethics.
Yeah, exactly. So like if they're acting like if they ground the fact that it's a human life, it's has personhood, then therefore the pro-life conclusion follows, which just isn't necessarily true.
True. And then the pro-choice people just want to murder.
Yeah.
They just want to kill, pretty much. They want a free kill.
Yeah.
I'm installing the new update for the social stream. So I use two apps. Well, three apps. I use OBS, but I'm sure you guys know about that.
Yep.
I use Restream, where I live stream to all my platforms at once, very easily. And then I use Social Stream Ninja, which allows me to see the chats from all of my live streams in one box, basically.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Sounds good, man.
So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I'm trying to get enough money so that I can do the casino, get the apartment, so I could do the casino heists, because the casino heist it makes good money. Yeah, there's a casino heist. You can rob a casino.
What do you have to buy for that one?
You gotta buy this arcade place where you could set up the heists.
Oh, right, casino. Oh, yeah, right, that's the one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was something new for a second.
Mm-hmm. And they do have some missions that you can do that'll pay too, but I don't really care about the storyline as much. And it's kind of hard to do it by yourself, or a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But the heist is really good. It can make a lot of money.
Yeah, but isn't the Perico still better? You can do it solo as well.
It is good, and it is better for solo people. But I find the Cayo Perico to be... Oh my god. A hacker just blew me up. Yeah, they're blowing everyone up.
Dr. Dre one. Like a lot.
What's up, deleted user?
What's up? What's up, brother?
So, what do you think about legalizing drugs?
Oh, dude, I ain't came to debate, man. You already know.
No, we don't actually.
I don't.
I talked to you before. Well, I talked to Sithis before. He knows my.
I've seen your name, but I don't really remember you.
You
that
don't
much.
remember me? What?
What did we talk about?
Well, this was a while ago when I first met you, but you was talking about anarchy or was it social? Was
Oh,
it socialist anarchy or something?
no,
And
no,
you was
no.
telling me about your idea and
Anarcho-capitalism.
how anarchist capitalism and how you talking about like how the insurance companies or you used as an example insurance companies quote unquote that we could use for services because I was asking you about like your perfect society
Yeah, I
and you was
remember.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember you
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
taxation and
obviously
theft was with me.
I agree with the guns. I disagree with the drugs, prostitution. Probably not. But guns, except for
Wait, what's wrong with drugs?
RPGs. Depending if we're talking about drugs for like medicine, then like sure, but not like heroin or meth and stuff like that.
Well, I think all
I think we'd
drugs.
be in a better society.
I think we should legalize all drugs. Fundamentally,
Yeah.
our
Yeah,
body.
I
It's
don't
my
disagree
body.
with
It's
that.
my choice.
Yep,
If I
exactly.
want to put
Yep.
if I want to put drugs into it, if I want to have sex with a prostitute,
Yep.
you know, why
Well,
should the state tell me
wait.
otherwise?
This man's
Yeah,
goaded.
but I don't think crackhead. Look, if we legalize all drugs and we legalize all guns, could you imagine crackheads and meth heads walking around with fucking AK-47s,
That
bro?
sounds based.
You think you think you think that's a good society, bro?
Sounds
Those
good to me.
motherfuckers will walk up to you and be like, "Give me all the crack," and they start shooting and killing people.
No, because
bro.
crack would be so cheap that they wouldn't need to steal it anymore. It would be like super cheap.
Yeah, it'll be normalized.
Yeah. Once
It'd be
you,
like
the
going to
only
the
reason
grocery
why,
store.
I
the
think
only reason why people need to steal in order to buy drugs is because it's like illegal and they made it like super expensive because of that. You know, there adds risk. It adds a bunch of added cost.
I think people would just get high, buy guns, and just start killing each other. Honestly,
Well,
Worth
if
it.
somebody buys a gun and harms someone, you know, that would still be illegal. But the act of using a drug, I don't think should be illegal. I think that you should be allowed to make your own choices.
well, but then the question comes: should it? Okay, but they're under the influence of drugs, so that would still be considered illegal, right? Based off of
No,
your
I don't
society.
think I don't
Like,
think it should be illegal. I think it should
well,
be
if someone
legal.
gets high and does drugs, and they kill, and they kill people.
Oh, if they kill somebody, yeah.
Yeah,
But
the
I
reason,
don't think drugs should be illegal.
but the reason why is because they are under the influence.
Yeah, but they're still responsible for what they do.
Not the reason, it's just that because they're high. Like I think
It's like drinking alcohol. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you get into a
mean,
car
that's-
accident and while you're drunk, you're still responsible for the car accident that you do, right? So it would work the same way with like any other drug. You know, also like there's a lot of things that affect us, right? Or might affect our driving, like lack of sleep or anger or you know, grief, things like that. Those are things that
left.
could sort of oh. Well, deleted user's still here.
Yeah.
And that's who I was talking to. But whatever.
Oh yeah. Right.
yeah.
right.
What I was going to say was, yeah, like there's a lot of things that could sort of affect our mindset, but you know, we don't just ban all those things. What we do is we hold people responsible for the things that they do. You know.
What's up, guys?
Oh, hey, what's up, the Fly 2.0?
What
But
up?
someone could just be like, "Well, it's not my fault because I was high on drugs, and you legalize the drugs." So technically speaking, they'll be kind of right to an extent, right?
it's
No,
not your fault.
it is
Of course
their
it's your
fault.
You still did it.
Yeah, just because someone's high doesn't, you know, exempt them from responsibility. You know, people.
Yeah.
who like if, the same thing with like any other drug or anything else like that. If you harm another person after taking a drug, that's you're still responsible because you chose to take that drug. Now, if somebody drugged you or something, that'd be a different story. But if you choose to take a drug and you do something, that's on you. There's no excuse.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. All
Yo, I think
drugs.
Fly's a gooner, dude. He's in the Bella server, dude. What the fuck?
It's
Bellas?
not a goon server.
Belle
No, I
Delphine.
got her. And I got it from Anarcho Doggo, by the way.
Yeah.
She has a Discord.
It's a him.
She
got
has
it
a.
from me.
She
it's
has
a
a.
safe work server though.
Is there an NSF one? Just
Yeah, but like not
Just asking
related
for
to
a
that
friend.
one. There are discords, but like who the fuck uses Discord for that? Just join the Telegram gang.
or just go on Pornhub.
There's nothing on Pornhub, dude.
Well, there's porn.
Super checked.
That's Pornhub is still restricted by IP. It's actually so dog shit.
Right, just
Oh
use a
yeah, in
VPN.
Florida, I can't
Yeah,
even.
just use a VPN because it's
I-
banned in my state as well.
Yeah, I live in Florida, and I can't even watch Pornhub. I gotta watch expo videos or some shit.
X Hamster's pretty goated.
Hey, it's been a while since I
Have you ever-
watched you. How have you been?
Have you
Good.
ever tried Arrow Me? That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's like a. It's not like a hard porn, like a normal porn website. That's like a nude sort of thing, like a.
But they
Yeah.
get whatchamacallit. Sometimes they get OnlyFans leaks.
Yeah, basically, it's a
No,
like
just
a.
just join THC then. It's by far the best place.
For OnlyFans leaks?
Yeah, it has everything. The Telegram group.
Yeah, never pay for
THC?
OnlyFans. You could just always go to the leaks.
I've never
how
used
you get,
Telegram.
wait, hold on, wait, hold on.
The Telegram
All
is the
right,
best place for this shit.
all right, wait. You gotta tell me some people because I want to see some OnlyFans.
All right. Whoa. Anyways,
That's crazy.
so anyone here disagree with legalizing drugs and guns or prostitution?
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do,
Yes.
but I don't feel like debating. We trying to get these leaks.
Okay,
Gotta get-
that's fine. I mean, you could just say. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just wondering.
I disagree.
All right, so what's your disagreement?
Well, with legalizing of drugs,
Just pick whatever you want to talk about.
yeah. So we have drugs legalized, all right, like alcohol and tobacco. But there are many drugs that are really worse than those ones that already are bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that would only be more destructive to the society.
Also, another thing is, I feel like if we legalize all drugs, I think it would prevent like us from overpopulating. You know what I mean?
I think
really help out.
I don't think there's such thing as overpopulation. I think
I
that
don't
we're.
know.
In fact, I would go so far as to say I think that we're underpopulated.
Yeah, I could see that.
But as
So-
to address the other guy's argument, I think that people should be allowed to make their own choices with their body as to what they put into it or do to it, so long as they are not initiating force or conflicts with any other person or their property.
Okay, but the problem of everybody having all this liberty, it's that those options create problems to the society. Really big problems.
Like,
Like, well, someone that is using drugs like fentanyl or crack, he is on the street. He may be robbing to pursue these vicious. There is another example that I would like to say about a guy riding a motorcycle. Okay, he may or he may not use a helmet. If he suffers an accident, he have a really bigger chance to survive or to have less problems by using the helmet. If he choose to not use, you know, it may cause a lot more problems to the
Which street
society
owner will allow an addict on his
because
street?
he may suffer a lot more problems. You know, he may become impossible to leave. You know, he may be feeded. And drugs, it's even worse.
Well, I think that is so long as that person who is addicted to the drug is not harming anyone, I think they should be allowed to do it. I think you should have the choice to make decisions with your body that other people might find compromising or inappropriate or weird or dumb. You know, I think that you should be allowed to make the choice to do things to your body that might not be really healthy for your body. Yeah, and that's just what I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I'm
how
reasonable.
could you control the point where this guy using crack, he is only harming himself?
Hmm.
You know, how could you control the point where he is not going to rob everybody else or
That's
to
separate
go
That
to
would
from
still
what
be
I-
illegal. If somebody goes and robs another person, if they harm another person while they're on drugs, that would still be illegal. You know, that would be a violation of another person's rights. They would be charged for whatever they do. But the act of doing drugs in itself is not a rights violation in any way. So I think they should be allowed to do that. People who drink alcohol, if they get into an accident or crash into another person, they are responsible for what they do, even though they're high or drunk, whatever. So it would be the same thing with drugs.
But what if they never took the drugs, right? They never took the drugs, and that accident would have never happened, or at least would have had a way lower chance of happening.
I think that
You know what
people
I'm saying?
people should have the right to take risk with their bodies, and if you're
Well-
driving on a road and the owner, but let's say you're driving on a road and the owner of that road says, "Hey, I don't want drunk drivers driving on my road." Well, for you to drive on that thing drunk would be a violation of that person's rights. So what we could do is have privatize the roads and then have private property owners dictate who it and what conditions people are allowed to drive on that person's road.
Okay, but what if there's people, right, or whatever in your society, that are okay with people who are high
Then that's
or
that
drunk
should
or
be their
whatever
choice.
driving on the road? But here's my point, right?
That should
I
be their
understand you're
choice.
saying it's their. Hold on, I understand your point. Like it's their body's their choice, right? But at the same time, what someone does to their body can also affect someone else, right? Like you just said,
They'll
if
still be
someone takes
responsible.
drugs, they drive and they get in an accident and they kill somebody. Even
Yeah,
though,
that's
yeah, they're
the
responsible for
problem,
that accident. Wait, hold on. Yeah, even though they're responsible for that accident, if they never took the drugs or if they never drunk that beer, that accident 9 times out of 10 would have never happened. You feel me?
Yeah, but again, you're stopping people violating people's rights before they harmed another person. So you're basically saying, "Oh, we need to okay, so I can make the same argument in this way, right? Do you think driving a car should be legal?"
Cars driving a car?
Yeah, like I'm saying you driving a car should be legal.
No.
So you think it should be illegal to drive cars?
No, I'm just saying if you're
Or
not
you might kill
sober,
someone in a
yes.
crash.
If you're not sober, yes. But if you are
No, I'm saying
sober,
if you
yeah.
I'm saying in
No.
general, do you think it should be legal to drive a car?
I think it should be illegal. Would you say legal? Or illegal?
Legal, like just legal, like
Yeah,
normal.
yeah. But
Okay,
yeah, but I'm sober though.
I understand that. So, but
Okay.
if we banned all cars, the likelihood of any person ever getting into a car accident would go to basically zero. Right?
Okay.
So we should ban cars.
No.
No.
Why
well,
not?
then you, but if you drive a car, you could get by the same logic. When you're saying, oh, if you get high or drunk and then you go and drive, you might get into you might be irresponsible. You might kill someone in an accident. The same could happen if you're sober. And furthermore, getting into an accident is a separate problem from the drug use itself, right?
Yeah,
That's the bad thing.
But
the drug use.
But the chances will be lower if you're sober.
And the
compared
chances
to someone
of you
who's
getting
drunk
into
or
an
bad.
accident when cars are illegal is 0.
No, that's a fallacy.
You confusing me, bro.
Okay,
What?
so
Like,
if we
we're putting
banned-
on-
yes.
if we made it illegal-
Wait. You're taking context out of it. You're just saying, oh, just ban all cars. Of course, if you ban all cars, no one's ever going to get in a car accident and die.
Exactly.
Right,
So
but
we
you
should
gotta
ban
put-
all
but you-
cars.
Okay,
You're saying
then we
you want
ban
to
all
prevent
drugs.
deaths, right? You want to
Yeah,
prevent
you say
But
you
then we
want to
ban all
prevent
drugs.
car accidents. So I'm like, okay, well, the best way to prevent car accidents would be to
No. I didn't say no. You're taking the
cars.
context out. No. You're taking context out of it.
All right,
I'm
go ahead.
saying
Context
we
you're
should
taking out.
listen. I'm about to tell you the context. This is the context I'm saying. People who are under the influence of a drug or of alcohol or whatever that can impair you from driving or operating machinery, that those people should not be able to drive. But people who
But
are
why?
sober, it's common sense, bro.
But why?
If you're drunk,
What-
why? So you can save lives. So people
have a
don't
question.
die.
Yeah, but I got a
Hold on,
question.
wait.
We would most
Wait,
certainly
I know,
save.
I'm about to get to it, bro. I'm trying to it's just common sense. It's literally common sense.
We would most
Because you would
certainly
have
save
lower
lives
chances
if we
of people-
banned all cars. Like you would,
Okay, then
you
you're
would
gonna
agree.
have high people on the street walking around with guns, possibly shooting.
Yeah, but they won't crash. They won't
Okay,
crash into anyone.
I have a really
anymore.
important question.
All right, go ahead.
Hold on. I'm getting two-pieced. I'm getting
Okay,
two-pieced. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna fall back. So go ahead, Cam.
I just
and
need
him.
to know because it's actually relevant. Okay, so
Okay.
of course, using drugs, drinking alcohol impairs your ability to drive, right? But so does being tired, right? If you don't get enough sleep, that does impair your ability to drive. Should we then make it illegal for people to not, like, say, get a good amount of sleep per night? And that can vary per person, because if you don't get enough sleep and then you go and drive, you're more likely to get into an accident. Same with drugs.
Or we should
I
make
have
people who get into their
actually-
car drink caffeine before they get into the car, and if they don't drink caffeine, then
Okay,
they're not allowed to drive.
I disagree with the caffeine idea. But actually, Cameron, I had personal experience with that. I agree with you on that. I actually agree
So
with
should
you
it
on
be
that, Cameron.
illegal for you to sleep only 4 hours a night?
Wait, should it be illegal to
you
drive
might
at
well drive,
nighttime?
you
Should it be
might
illegal
well
to
drive
drive at
later, right?
nighttime? So, like, should we put a curfew, like, after a
Hold on,
certain time?
Wait.
Because if people
Wait,
are
as
driving at night, they're going to be really sleepy. They're more likely to be sleepy. So, like, right? Or
Not in every case. Some people work the night
but for
shift
the
and
most
stuff.
part,
What if it could be, yeah, it very well may be
Guys.
that it's most people.
they're going to be much more
Yeah,
likely to be
most people.
sleepy. So we should put a
Proportion.
curfew on like driving so that like we have less sleepy
Well,
drivers.
actually, technically speaking, that is technically speaking a law. At least in my state, because when I got my driver's license, I read the book and it says.
Oh,
you
so
should not
you're
operate
good
a
with
motor
that. You
vehicle.
you don't have a problem with that.
Is it a law?
Hold on. Well, it's a recommendation more of. It's like again on the book in my state at least it said if you're tired, if you're feeling heavily emotional, it is recommended
yeah.
that you don't drive a car. And like I said, I used to work 2 jobs. I bullshit you not. I remember I was driving to my second job and I was swerving all over the road and sleeping. Like I was sleeping at the wheel. So like I said, from personal experience, I 100% agree with that because that is very dangerous. And truth be told,
Should it have been
I
illegal
should-
for you to work 2 jobs then, because you were driving from one to the other? If you wouldn't have drove if you didn't have the second job, like that's the kind of logic you're
hell,
applying
man.
with drugs. That's my point.
No,
kinda silly.
no. Guys,
No,
okay, please.
wait.
Because you
let me
might
get
you,
that
you
thing
might
clear.
go and
Wait.
drive after using drugs, but not necessarily.
get the
So
point
why
here.
ban the
No,
drugs?
no.
Well,
No, I'm not
let's
saying
let the
you need to work
let's
2
let the other
jobs.
guy talk
I'm not-
because we kind of been talking. He
Wait.
hasn't talked for a little bit.
Wait, he asked me a question. I just want to answer it.
Yeah,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
saying it should be illegal. I'm not saying it should be illegal to work 2 jobs. I'm saying it should be illegal that if something's impairing you from driving, whether it's sleepiness, whether it's emotionalness, or anything of the such. Again, according to my book I read, the state book I read, in my state, it says it has a higher chance of causing an accident because you're not in the right state of mind.
I mean,
Now,
I'll
I'm not
disagree with
saying
that.
ban all cars. I'm not saying do all that. I'm just
No, we
saying
don't
for
think
other
you are. We're
people's
trying
safety.
to like.
Cause like I
Okay.
honestly brought like real shit. Like I almost fell asleep driving. Well, I kind of have. I almost hit a semi truck. I could have died. Like I almost.
So
hit,
should
like,
we put a
almost hit an
curfew on
SUV.
like driving? So like people who drive, like, you know, like if you drive after 9 o'clock, like you shouldn't be allowed to drive because doing so, like you're putting people at risk.
Well, actually, it wasn't late at night. It was just I was just tired from working two
No,
jobs.
I'm saying in general. I'm
not-
not talking about you. I'm saying in general.
Hold on.
In general, okay, wait.
Yeah,
Pro-
yeah,
wait,
like-
can you say your proposal again?
No, I'm just saying
Cycus?
like okay, so like to prevent the higher likelihood of people being sleepy and getting into their car, we should like set a curfew on what time people should be allowed to work and drive, so that people are less likely to crash into each other because they'll be. If you drive in the daytime, you're more likely to be more awake, whereas like if you drive at nighttime, you're more likely to be sleepy, thus increasing the
how do
likelihood of you
nighttime-
crashing and killing someone.
How do nighttime shipments work then? Because
Well, too bad. Too bad. You're risking people's lives, so
Well,
we should just we
Well,
should ban it.
wait, no, it did- no,
hold
wait.
on.
No.
No,
I
he
was
asked me the
asking.
question,
Wait.
sir.
You're hold on.
He
Respectfully,
asked
you
me the
kind of
question.
jumped in
Yeah,
later.
that's fine. But I jumped in, but I'm also a
Okay.
driver.
He asked me the question, sir.
He,
What I'm saying is,
I asked him the
I
question.
asked
You
him-
don't.
I mean,
no one
that's fine.
asked you the question. I asked him the
I
question.
that's fine. I was just saying because I asked you a
I
question.
hold on. I'm not.
You're
Let him
right,
respond, and then we'll
please.
give you time to talk. We'll all right.
No, I don't
Look,
want
for example, look, I work the night shift, right? So my
Mhm.
sleep schedule is built different. I sleep all day and I'm up all night. You know what I'm saying? So when I sleep all day, I'm up all night. I have energy at night. Like I'm not tired at night. You feel me? Because my sleep schedule.
Follow me,
And
Paul.
like as Cameron said, it varies for every person depending on health issues or health stuff. It varies. But people who usually work at night, like me, like I said, I'm literally at work right now. I work third shift. I sleep all day. I sleep from 7 all the way up to like 5, 6, maybe sometimes 12 hours a day. I sleep all day and I wake up and I get ready for work and I feel non-tired. I feel energy. I feel like I can drive safely and all that stuff. You feel me?
Mhm.
It just depends on one's sleep schedule.
Well, you didn't ask. Okay, so you keep bringing it back to yourself, but I'm asking you a generalized question. Like should we have a curfew to stop, the high or any likelihood of somebody sleeping at nighttime? So like nobody's allowed to drive at nighttime ever. So
With
that
the
like
exception if they work. With the exception if
That's
they work third
that's
shift.
such a disingenuous question. That's
no,
such a
because he said
disingenuous
okay, and I'll explain.
No,
I'll
no,
let
King,
you go.
hold on,
I'll let you go after me,
King,
but I'll
King,
explain
hold on.
why I made
King,
the.
No, I was still. Can I just elaborate on my thing first?
Sure,
Right?
go ahead. All right.
Right. So that's a disingenuous question because you're asking this man obviously drives at nighttime, right? You're asking him, should everyone be allowed to drive at nighttime? You're boiling it down to a one single
Yeah, but there's a reason why.
generalization. No, hold on. Let me finish. You're boiling it down to a single generalization of a group, right? How is that in any sense an argument? That's like saying, oh, should every single person in the army be allowed to fight at night? That's not an argument.
No, you're not
Yes, obviously-
understanding. You
No,
you
okay,
came.
okay,
You didn't.
okay,
You
so-
don't
so let me-
understand because
so
you
let me
came in
finish.
late. You
okay,
came in
that's
late,
fine.
so you
let
don't
me
understand.
That's fine. So let me finish, right? Boiling it down to
you
one
have the key?
single generalization.
Open that door.
Okay. Boiling it down to one single generalization doesn't exclude the facts
Have
of
the key.
some people can some people can work at night
There's
time.
a key
some
somewhere.
can't. So, like King said, he can
It's
work
not
at night time. He works well at night time. I don't work well at night time. How is that an argument?
You're wasting everybody's time because you're arguing for something that you don't understand because you joined in late. So the reason
that's
why
fine.
I made that hold on, stop talking. So the reason why I made that point was because he said that we should make it illegal for people to drive when they're sleepy. So the reason why I made that argument was I was like, okay, so then should we just like make it so that people who drive past a certain time, or make a curfew, people who drive past a certain
Wait,
time.
what? No, you're misrepresenting. No, I was saying if they're under the because
I
we're
got the
talking
key.
about drugs,
Follow me.
and I made the and I was making the point that if you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol, you have a higher chance of having a car accident or a vehicle accident. That's what I was saying.
King, what were you saying? He was in the
No,
middle of
my
talking.
argument was just that, like, I was just trying to, with that question, all I was just trying to do was show the absurdity of banning, or the idea of banning people from driving simply because they might be tired. So if we
Yeah.
did that, then we might as well like put like a curfew, right, on people, and be like, hey, you can't drive after 9 o'clock because people are more likely to be sleepy after 9 o'clock. So if you drive after 9 o'clock,
Is that
well, then
wrong?
you're just, you know.
Yeah, wait. So King, you're telling me that I was wrong, and I was arguing against that. I was interrupting people. I was literally agreeing with you, but you're calling me out.
No, I was saying that you
Is
didn't.
it wrong to place a curfew?
Wait, hold on, King.
I'm
hold on,
saying
King.
yes, it is wrong.
You
To,
called me
obviously,
out.
it is wrong to place
Why?
a curfew.
Wait, King, you called me an idiot because I interrupted you, but I didn't interrupt you, and I
I
agreed
didn't
with
say.
you.
I didn't call you. I never called you an idiot. For one.
So
I-
you and your friends weren't insulting me non-stop because I accepted. I agreed with what you were saying. And I was
Bro,
asking
what are
a
you
question.
talking about?
Nobody insulted you.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Hey,
okay.
guys.
What are you talking
No,
about,
wait.
bro?
Wait,
Continue.
Read
with
me
it.
the
Making
numbers.
things up.
Was it
Continue with it.
55?
Continue with it. Continue with it.
Bro, I don't
Wait,
even know
I get a
anymore.
point here, please. I get
55,
a point here.
Oh, okay. 55.
70.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
No, by
the
all means.
problem about
Please.
drugs, guys, the problem about drugs is the probability of an
What's the last
accident
number?
happening. Okay,
14.
so a guy using drugs or drinking alcohol have a
Wait,
much
what?
higher probability of
It
having
was
an
70, the
accident.
middle one.
Oh. Wait, say the
So
first number again. 50.
55.
Sorry, we're playing Grand Theft Auto. 55, 70,
Uh-huh.
None of these men can actually have a discussion.
and then what?
14.
14. Okay, sorry. Now you guys go. Go ahead. Talk. Sorry.
Okay.
We're robbing a bank here. You know,
So
it's important.
The chance of someone having an accident because he is drunk or he is drugged is much higher than someone that didn't sleep well. Okay. So you can be
Just run.
see the statistics. No, see the statistics. It's really higher the accidents that happens because of that someone that's drunk than that someone that was tired.
Well, yeah, but if some,
I'm
I know,
sure it's a similar thing for-
I'm arguing that I think that it's ridiculous to ban sleepy drivers. I think that's a bit ridiculous because you know.
No,
if-
I'm not saying
Yes,
that.
I
No,
agree.
no, stop. Please stop
saying that.
misrepresenting
Yeah,
me,
We're
bro.
not saying you're saying
lying.
that.
No,
We're not, he's not
that is-
saying that he's saying that. He's saying that's where his logic would have to lead him. If he
yeah,
was-
that's
if he
all I'm
was
saying.
following
Yeah,
it
like if
consistently.
you're saying like,
Whereas-
oh, you know, I think that's it's wrong for or sleepy. I mean, like, the argument was basically like, oh, well, if you do drugs, you're more likely to get into an accident. And then Cam was like, okay, well, if you're sleepy, you're more likely to get into an accident. So should we ban that? And then he was like, well, you know, I've seen a lot of people get into an accidents because of sleepy drivers. So then our question after that was like, okay,
No,
so
man.
should we just ban, you know, sleepy drivers? Should we put a curfew on sleepy drivers or people who are, you know, after a certain amount of night, after a certain nighttime, you know, to
King, the debate, like the
Wait,
channel
Osama,
topic
Osama.
is legalized. Hold on, I'm just asking you a question.
yeah, so
the channel
legalize
is,
all
like-
guns, drugs, and prostitution. Yes.
So is that what you're arguing? Just to make sure.
Yeah, that's what it. That's what I'm arguing. Yes.
Yeah.
With driving.
Yeah, and earlier my argument
Well,
was
I was
that-
that was just a side tangent, but I was saying in general the whole point is that I think that people should be allowed to do drugs.
well,
Like
because
like
deleted
class
was
A?
Hmm?
Like class A.
All drugs.
So heroin, meth, etc.
Yep.
etc.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fentanyl. I think
Oh,
all
heroin.
drugs should be completely legal.
Right, and I'm sure I probably missed this entire debate.
You're good.
Can I just ask why? Why?
Well,
Can we do
because it's-
heroin? Like, why?
It's my
Osama,
body.
Osama,
It's my
please.
body,
Well,
my
no, 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 no.
choice.
Hold on. Yeah, obviously your body, your choice. but it's still
we
illegal.
are on the middle.
I
of the
know it's
argument
illegal,
here.
but I think
Hold
it
on,
should
hold
be
on. Can I-
legal. That's
Why
what
am I
we're
just
arguing.
cutting the
Hold on,
argument?
hold on.
All right,
Yeah,
let him go.
okay,
Let him go, guys. Let him go.
Can I just wait,
Go
can I
ahead.
just ask this guy a question? Jesus.
Let him go, guys.
So-
Go ahead.
No, I'm not cooking. I'm genuinely curious.
No,
right?
I'm
So-
saying for you to go. Go.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying the other guy. Okay.
No, you.
So obviously your body, your choice. Fair enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't change. Okay. So for example, my body, my choice. I can start doing heroin, right?
Yeah, it's your body if you want to.
And I got excess heroin, so I'm just gonna give it to some other person, right?
As long as they're an adult and they want it.
And thus the heroin epidemic started. And it's not just heroin; it's cocaine. I mean, cocaine in America especially was a massive epidemic, right? And
I mean,
it wasn't
but
just
it's
cocaine; it was crack.
the meth
There's a
epidemic happened while it was illegal. You do know that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is why
So
making it
illegal
doesn't
didn't
stop
prevent it at all.
it. Yes, 100%. But I completely agree. Making it illegal, however, doesn't make it any better. In fact, it makes it worse.
No, I would say that making it illegal makes it worse because as opposed to stopping the epidemic, all you're doing is throwing innocent people in prison for doing drugs, which I think is ridiculous.
But no,
You
they
also
don't
create a
throw
black
innocent
market
people.
for many.
And you also create
Well,
a
no,
black
they-
market.
If you
Causes
know
more
anything,
violence.
if you know anything about dealing, they don't throw innocent people into jail.
If I do a drug, I'll go to jail. I can go to jail.
So
Dealers
okay.
are
You can
innocent.
go to jail for doing drugs.
Hold on. Yes, you can go to jail. Have any of you ever
Drug dealers
even,
also are innocent too. They haven't done anything wrong.
So have any of you ever experienced even the remote aspect of the law? You don't go to jail if you are a drug user. The entire
I think
Depends on where you live.
you didn't hear me. I said that drug dealers don't violate people's rights neither. I think that drug dealing is perfectly fine. I think that should be legal
yes,
too.
and that's fine. You can think that. However, you still go to jail for it, and you're still doing damage on your.
Yeah,
own
but
community.
we're not talking about what is. We're talking about what should be. We're saying we think it
Okay.
should be illegal.
what if I
Do you
sell
have
to
an
another
if you
community?
think it should be illegal, then you need to make an argument for that, saying,
Okay,
"Oh, but it's
I'll make
illegal."
an
Yeah,
argument.
obviously we know that. That's why we're arguing for it to be legal.
I'll make an argument then. Okay.
Okay.
You're living in a neighborhood. You
Yes.
introduce, let's just say, crack to the neighborhood. You
Good.
create a pocket where this entire neighborhood, obviously not every single person, but the neighborhood is essentially addicted to crack.
Good.
You are destroying this neighborhood. That destroys the neighborhood. And if you think crack,
How?
not even just crack. Okay, what do you mean how?
How? If they want it,
Okay,
I mean that's up to
I'll
them,
give you,
right?
okay, I'll give you an argument. Obviously, if they want it, right? The rich don't buy crack; they buy cocaine because crack is essentially the poor man's cocaine, right?
Okay.
So the rich people buy cocaine, so it doesn't impact them too much. The poor people in this neighborhood, they don't buy cocaine; they buy crack. They buy crack off the local dealers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Influencing the local dealers' income. The people that buy crack tell their friends. They tell their friends, "Oh, this shit is amazing. It's fantastic. You can just smoke it. It's amazing. You know, this is so great." All of their friends do crack, right? The dealers start earning more and more money from
Good.
this crack that is introduced to their local neighborhood, and more 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 people start buying crack off of these dealers. How can you? I hope you understand that
That's
destroys
perfectly
the-
fine.
Okay, so did you not understand that?
Why does it matter?
Yeah, why does it matter?
Their
Why are
choice,
you
I don't
moral?
really care.
Why are you being a moral micromanager? If people want to smoke
Okay,
crack, that's
so-
their life. That's their choice.
paternalistic.
That should be their choice.
Did you see the crack epidemic in America?
It's still going on. People still do crack.
Yes, but did you see the crack epidemic in America?
Not really. Not with my own eyes.
Yeah,
I saw
are you too young?
documentaries on it.
Yeah, but like you understand it, right? Like, don't tell me you can't understand it, right?
A lot of people did crack.
No,
Yeah.
no, but you understand the premise behind it, right?
That a lot of people did crack.
That's not
It's
the premise.
irrelevant
So,
to the argument.
well, it's not irrelevant because you're destroying an
Sure,
entire community. Okay.
Why should we give a shit? You can't. That's just
Well, yeah,
speculate.
if-
You don't-
if
people
somebody-
argue why that's a
Okay,
bad
you
thing.
know what? I'll explain
Does arresting,
exactly
does
why.
throwing people in prison for doing crack stop people from doing
No,
crack?
I'll explain. I'll explain exactly why you should give a shit. You're destroying neighborhoods because
So-
because you're introducing crack to.
You know
neighborhoods
what
that
else
shouldn't have
destroys
crack.
neighborhoods?
Why
Locking
should
up
we
innocent
care?
people.
What do you mean? Why should we care?
That
Yeah,
is true.
I wouldn't ban drugs even if it saved the entire world. I don't give a shit. Nothing justifies a violation of rights.
Yeah,
Yes,
doesn't
okay,
matter.
don't-
Osama,
Okay,
Osama,
do you
I
know what?
think
No,
you're
hold on,
also...
hold on.
No,
Don't ban-
wait.
I
I've
agree, I
heard
agree,
you-
I
I've heard
agree,
you-
I
I've heard
agree.
you speak a lot. Yeah,
Don't
King-
ban
King
weed.
makes
All
a
right,
great
let's
point.
let the other guy go because you kind of have been talking for a little bit. So
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I've
King, you
literally
made a
only
great
said a
point
couple
though.
words.
You made it. You made
That's
a
not
great
true.
point, King, because yeah, crack could destroy neighborhoods, and that's Osama what he's baking in. But the policing of it has also done a lot of that, like the terrorizing of black people by police because of crack.
100%.
Also did a lot of that.
100%.
So you're factoring in the equation. yes, crack will destroy neighborhoods, but the legality of around crack also does the same thing. Like, so we can't deny that.
I mean,
Oh,
not
that's
only am I
Oh, so right.
arguing. Well, just to respond to that real quick, and then I'll pass it back to you. The British guy, I don't know your name, forgot it. So I was just going to say that, and like, I'm not only just making an ethical case. Like, I do think that fundamentally people should be allowed to do what they want, but I do also argue for and that it has a lot of negative consequences too. You know, especially like with policing, like you just said, we lock up a lot of people for innocent for doing something that I don't think really necessarily violates anyone's rights. Now, go ahead.
Okay, so Sharak, no, I do completely agree, especially if we're talking in the 1990s, 1980s, the crack epidemic on especially low-income areas in America, it was beyond destructive. It genuinely ruined entire blocks, right? There's no argument against that, right? Crack essentially destroyed local areas in America, specifically, it destroyed it, right? But the problem comes that the entire idea of, okay, I mean, guys, I'm English, right? So I can probably speak better than most people. In English blocks, right? English boroughs, the idea of a hood, because we call it a hood, a borough, right? It doesn't matter if you're black or white. All of these boroughs are black. There's no intermixing. There's no sort of mixing cultures. It is black. It's black culture. It's Jamaican culture. There is no arguing that is the fact, right?
Okay.
And that shouldn't be the case. However, all of these drugs being introduced, yes, okay, free will, yes. If you want to do crack, fuck up your entire life, that's fine. But the fact that it is being introduced, I mean, if you've ever watched Snowfall, you'd understand it. If you watch Breaking Bad, you'd understand it. You're introducing horrible drugs, very addictive drugs, into neighborhoods that already are dealing with systemic racism. You're dealing with systemic racism.
Oh my
these
God.
neighborhoods
What do you mean
are dealing with
systemic racism? That shit does not exist.
Well, all right, guys. This is not respectfully. Like, I'm not trying to get into that right now. I just want to. Let's try to stick. Let's stick to the drugs. Let's stick to the drugs.
The problem is you can't argue that drugs can exist without the idea of systemic racism, because coke, crack, and heroin were all introduced due to systemic racism in America.
Yeah,
With the systemic racism, the systemic. Hold on, wait. When people stop. Hold on, interrupt. Don't interrupt me. Please. Hold on, stop. When I say stop, you guys stop talking.
Oh my God! Holy fucking Discord.
If you can't handle that, then you can get the fuck out.
Drugs are an alternative to alcohol. That's all.
Okay, I got you. So I'm literally, dude. I'm the owner of the room. So if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out.
You understand? You're the moderator. You understand that these people are denying crack, cocaine, heroin are being introduced into specifically hood-oriented Florida, Chicago, etc., etc., etc.
No, they were introduced into poor areas. Poor people.
Are you
the systemic guys?
Are you
okay?
stupid?
I literally told you guys stop like 4 or 5 times. So if you guys do not stop, I'm going to start kicking people out of the room.
All right,
I'm gonna start kicking people out of the room now because you're not gonna shut up.
These people are arguing. Oh, poor people don't exist.
Poor people have an inclination to doing drugs. That's not a new thing.
Chill. We're talking about the legality of drugs, not systemic racism.
All right, no problem. I'm gonna kick them out of the room.
I'm not even.
Shut the fuck up.
Do not kick me, man.
It was someone else. I wasn't even talking, bro.
Dude, I told you to shut the fuck up, and you kept talking.
Yeah, mate, you got the wrong person. That wasn't me. That was someone else.
All right. You're the only British guy in here.
You were one of the people.
Mate, there were
I think you were one of the two people who was talking to shut up.
There were 2 people talking, none of which were me.
Okay, let Zama speak, please.
Okay, so the only argument that I'm making is that fundamentally it doesn't matter the race. All right.
Sorry.
Who was that?
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was talking to the gate guard. My bad.
So I just don't want. I'm live streaming this. I want this to be listenable. If we're all yelling all at once, it's not gonna be listenable.
Wait, to your 2 viewers.
All right.
Oh, why you dis? That was
Now you're
Damn.
disrespecting. Now you gotta get the fuck out.
And his ass.
I'm trying to listen to an argument.
Personally,
so cool.
I
You're
wouldn't let
so
that type
cool.
of disrespect slide, Scythis, but that's just me.
Honestly,
No,
you're
don't worry.
so
I'm kicking
cool,
him
bro.
out. Don't worry.
Bro, kick me. Honestly, that's so cool. Make sure you tell your two viewers.
Why are you
who's
such a
boss.
cunt?
Why you
Why you such a
Don't worry.
cunt?
I have him
Why you
muted
acting
on my
like-
end, so whatever he says, I can't even hear him.
Fine.
Okay, King, go ahead. Go ahead. I was listening.
Holy shit, I'm
Hold
an
on, I
idiot.
just gotta. There we go. Okay.
Hey, who
So-
was telling me about the Telegram? Can you DM me?
KingSithis, can you read the side? KingSithis, can you read the side chat for me?
What?
Brain dead. Was that used in Narco?
So the reason why you shouldn't
Yeah, I
legalize
just-
drugs is because someone
Yeah,
could
send me
take
the
it
DM.
into someone could take it into its school cafeteria, pour it into the drinks of the children, and the children now are drug addicts. Why would
You could
want
do that
to be-
now.
That can literally happen right now.
Yeah, that can happen
And
right
drugs
now.
are and
No,
drugs like
no, they
heroin are
can't
illegal.
because schools have security detectors.
Yeah, I just
all
sneak
kinds
in.
of-
Wait, then I
Get your
literally
point.
and hold on, literally I'm not gonna lie. I literally the other day saw a video of this teacher who got arrested because she brought cocaine into the class and she was high.
Oh, who owns
Exactly,
this?
man.
Who owns
Wait,
this
wait, wait, wait,
channel?
wait, 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 wait. Scythis, you see nothing wrong with that? That someone's bringing drugs in front of kids?
Well, obviously I have a problem with that. Children, I said when I say legalize drugs, I mean legalize drugs for adults. Obviously not for kids. Kids are too young.
Yeah, but
Wow.
the thing is,
Okay. No, it was just the way you said it. It sounded like you was upset with it.
No,
The way you-
no. I was upset with the teacher doing drugs and the class.
but the thing is, right? Something that is psychoactive like that. The reason why it's banned, it's not because of normal adults. It's because of the vulnerable people like children and others that could be at risk.
You could still make it illegal for kids to do drugs without
Yeah,
punishing
but
people who are
adults,
innocent.
the mentally ill adults that may bring it into a cafeteria, sprinkle it over the food of the children, and now
That
they
would still be illegal.
That can also happen regardless of if
Yeah,
drugs
that- if
like
you-
coke
if
or
you
whatever
put-
are illegal.
Yeah, if you put drugs in another person's food without their knowing, that's poison. You're poisoning them.
Look,
That's still illegal.
I disagree with you. I think that there should be specific states where you can go to and do all the drugs you want, but I don't think every single state should allow drugs. Does that make sense?
Sounds arbitrary.
Yeah, but then like,
No, it's a
what
bit,
if?
it's a bit
Why?
like gambling, right? Like,
Yeah, well, how about this? If you own a house,
No,
you could
that's
just
true.
tell people, "Hey, I don't want you doing drugs at my house," and then nobody will do drugs anywhere near you.
no, what I'm saying is drugs should be allowed in specific states or in specific districts. You go there to do all the drugs you want. When you go home, you can't do drugs. That's what I believe.
But yeah, but that's
Hey, aren't
ridiculous
drugs
because
under
if I do
control?
drugs
Aren't
in an
control-
area where it's illegal, then I'm gonna go to jail, and for when I
Okay,
haven't violated
well then
anyone's
how
rights.
How about this alternative proposal? Drugs are free everywhere you go, but in these non-designated areas, you will be taxed 50% for doing drugs. How about that?
Taxation is theft.
No.
That's the whole point.
Agreed.
Is to incentivize people to do drugs in a specific designated area, free of children, free of consequence.
Why don't we
Whereas
just
if
make
you
it
do
so
on your
that?
own,
Why don't we just
there
make
could
it so
be-
that you're only allowed to do drugs on your private property or somebody else's private property
No,
if they
not
invite
at
you?
all, because again, there vulnerable people can be exposed to drugs, like children.
Yeah, that's
And-
that's
Yeah,
regardless
but that could
of
happen right
legality of
now,
drugs.
and also you could still make that illegal.
No, if you legalize
Well,
drugs,
actually,
you
well,
won't
wait.
be-
He does have a point though, because if you're doing drugs on your private property and if you have children and drugs are legal, children could get access to those drugs.
That can happen now.
Yeah, that's on the parents then. That's on the
Yeah,
parents.
Well,
then.
and that
Yeah,
would
but-
still be
if you
illegal.
legalize drugs.
That can
if you
happen now,
legalize
but it's
drugs,
illegal.
most
For
people would have
example,
drugs in
It
their
would
house.
still be
example-
illegal.
Wait, hold on. Listen. God damn it. Let me, bro. Come on, bro.
Alright, then go.
Let me speak.
Go,
bro.
go,
I keep being cut off. What I'm about to say is this. For example, all right, if somebody like, let's say somebody gets pulled over, right? They have a kid. Okay, we're gonna do two scenarios. The same scenario, but like in two different worldviews. Your worldview and how it is now, right? In our worldview, the cop pulls someone over, right? It's a mother or a father, whatever. They have drugs, right? Let's say the cop sees cocaine in the center console, right? In our world, and they have a child in the back, like in the baby seat, whatever, the booster seat, whatever. In our world, they'll get arrested, right? Because they have drugs and drugs around a child. Now, I'm just curious on your worldview. The same situation happens, right? The cop pulls somebody over or whatever, for whatever reason, or the security guard or whatever. They have cocaine in the center console, like where the drink cup is, where you put your drinks in. And there's a child in the back. Does the cop arrest him or not? Because the drugs in your worldview would be legal, right? But at the same time, it is an easy, accessible reach for a child to like grab the cocaine and sniff it or play in it or whatever. Would you, in your worldview, would even the drugs are legal, would you arrest that person because the child is around
No.
it, or would you let them go?
I would say that fundamentally, if the person is not giving the kid the drug or telling the kid to do the drug or allowing the kid to take the drug, then they're not violating anyone's rights, and to arrest them would be an aggression.
And how wait, and how would you know that for sure? How would you know the kid did not get a little whiff of crack when it's right there in the center console?
This is how law works, right? If you make an accusation against another person, you have to come up with evidence in order to substantiate that claim. So if you believe that a person is, giving their kid drugs, then you have to show evidence in a court or something like that in order to substantiate that claim. If you don't have evidence that they're doing it, then your claim will go nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if they're not giving the child drugs, but the child is having access to the drugs because, for one, drugs are legal, and two, the mom or the dad is high out of their mind with a needle hanging out their arm, passed out on the couch, and there's like cocaine just sitting on the table, and the child is just sitting in it, playing in it, sniffing it, eating it, whatever.
Then that person would be held accountable for, the guardian of that person, that child would be held accountable for that.
Okay. Another question I have, this is my last question, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to word it right, but I might mess up the wording, but I hope you get where I'm trying to get to, all right? You care about the kids not doing drugs, right? Correct, just to confirm.
Yeah, I don't want kids to do drugs, yes, obviously.
Okay, if you legalize all drugs, kids, right, they grow into adults, right? And as time goes on and the kids, they see people high, they see people doing drugs, right? As they grow up, right, even though, like, they're an adult, like, and they do the drug, like, they start trying the drug, let's say they turn 18 or whatever, would you really have ever gave a fuck about the kids in the first place? Because now they're just crackheads, right? They've seen it around them, everyone else is doing it, so now this kid is not going to be anything in life but a crackhead and living, like, on Skid Row with, like, a needle hanging out their arm.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think we should ban alcohol?
Yes, I think so, in my personal opinion, yeah.
Should we ban cigarettes?
Sure. Yeah.
Should we ban porn?
Sure. Yeah.
Should we ban driving?
Man, I feel like you're gonna take this out of context, but no. I feel like you're gonna put some context behind it and blow it out of proportion. But no, we should not ban driving.
Okay, so
and I can give you reasons
what about
why.
What about caffeine? What about coffee?
No, I guess.
Okay, so yeah, but you're drinking. Okay, so then I could literally ask you the same question right back to you, with the same arguments with the same child, but take out coffee, cocaine, and insert caffeine.
Oh wait, caffeine has cocaine in it?
No, caffeine is addictive, and it's it's a drug.
Oh, I didn't know that. Then yeah, we can take out caffeine. I didn't know that. Yeah, we can take out.
You didn't know caffeine is a drug?
No, I didn't know that. No.
What about aspirin? Aspirin's a drug. Should we ban aspirin? Like, wait,
are you
saying purely based on the fact that it's a drug?
Wait, no.
What
wait,
wouldn't
no,
you ban? At this point, like, I feel like, what wouldn't you ban at this point? Like,
wait, no. Wait, I think you missed me earlier. What I said, Cameron. I said way earlier, like 30 minutes ago. I said, I believe if it's not for like the use of a medicine or medical practices, then it should not be used in that nothing else should be like used like unless the
So
doctor prescribes it or what. And I understand. Wait, I was gonna give some context. I understand people do get addicted to prescription drugs. I understand it. I do, but but besides that point, if you go to the hospital and you need that medicine or that drug in your body, like Tylenol or whatever, then no, I don't think you should ban it. No, but
yeah, but
if it's something,
what if you
yeah,
sorry, like what I see kind of an issue with your reasoning here, because like, okay, if you're worried with like the potential consequences of people, being able to easily access drugs like crack and whatnot, and then going and doing bad things like driving or whatever, being irresponsible, and whatnot, committing crimes. But I feel like the same kind of reasoning applies, like if you say have doctors that are prescribing certain opioids or whatever to people legally. Again, like you said, that people can get addicted to such drugs. They might go and do bad things to fuel their addiction or while high. It kind of seems like you would have to be consistent, say like just ban all drug use, just in case, right? Just in case people get addicted and do bad things or whatever.
Can you say that one more time? I didn't hear you. My fault.
So, oh my god.
Wait,
Come on, he had a good argument. All right, go
Okay,
ahead.
so doctors prescribe drugs such as opioids, right? Which, as you recognized, can be addictive. People can get addicted to those things and then go do irresponsible, bad things. They can commit crimes to fuel their addiction, or just while high, they might go and drive to do something stupid, right?
Yeah.
It seems like, to be consistent, if you're saying, okay, we need to ban, these street drugs, these narcotics, such as crack and heroin or whatever, because they're not being used for medical reasons. It seems to me to be primarily because you're saying because people might go do bad things like drive, they might go and hurt others while high. Well, if people have the chance, to get addicted to drugs that are prescribed to them by doctors, and then they might get addicted and then go do the same things, like drive, right, while they're high because they're addicted to opioids or whatever. That's a bad thing, right? But if you're saying the potential is what matters, the fact that people might get addicted and do these bad things, then should we just ban drugs for even medical reasons? I think you'd say no, but it seems to be consistent. You would have to say that.
Well, no, there's a difference between controlled substances and non-controlled substances.
Yeah,
There's a huge difference.
Okay, what's your point?
What do you mean? What's your point? Controlled substances aren't like allowed to people. You're not gonna find legal opioids or opiates outside of a doctor's office that aren't like Tylenol.
Yeah, but I can still get addicted to those, right? If the doc prescribes me some, and then go do bad things.
Yeah, but you're not gonna legally
so ban them.
Yeah, so we should ban them.
Fucking Oxycontin.
If that's the idea. I might.
Yeah, like
okay, if I legally get them and then I get addicted to them and then I go drive while high or something, do some commit some crime, that's bad, right? So shouldn't we just get rid of apparently what's the source of the problem here? The drugs? I mean, I don't believe that, obviously. I'm just saying that would be absurd.
No, well,
of course, that's absurd.
But that's a logical conclusion of your ideology of your thinking, because it's like, if you're gonna say, oh well, we should ban this because there's a risk that a person might get harmed or this risk might happen. Well, it's just like the logical conclusion is just like, oh well, we should ban this, we should ban that, we should ban this because it has risk. All these things have risks.
Yeah, everything in life has risk. I understand that, but I think if, in some medications, like you can literally read the side of the bottle and says, hey, like this may affect your driving. Do not operate heavy machinery or whatever, right? And I think you should, again, if it's affecting you in that matter where you can't drive or something, then I would argue that then don't drive. If you're taking opioids, even if it's given to you from a doctor or whatever, if it is affecting you, and you're not following the directions of your doctor or the side of the bottle, like literally the side of the bottle, and you're swerving all over the road and you're being a danger to the public, then I think you should probably go to jail. You should probably get pulled over.
But what if I'm high and I'm not a danger to other people?
What if you're high and you're not a danger to other people?
Mm-hmm.
High off what? Like the medicine that the doctor gave you?
Like any drug, like meth. Like say I smoke meth in my house and I'm not like a danger to anyone. Should I be arrested?
Shit, that's a good question. I'm not gonna hold. That's a good question. See, look, I'll be honest with you. I'll say my thoughts on it, right?
Sure.
I
Say
want to
whatever you
say
want.
yes, but not more on the terms of going to jail, but more on the terms of getting sent to a facility to help you with your addiction. Like, what's it called? Something similar to like
Like
Alcoholics Anonymous, but
a
like a
rehab.
drug rehab facility. Yeah, rehab. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
rehab. But at the same time, it's also kind of like yes, because there's always that, with drug addicts, they're really unpredictable sometimes. Trust me, I've seen them. Uh, so there could be a situation where they may hurt themselves, or they may hurt somebody else, or such of the like. And again, even though I understand it's their body and it's their choice, it is really sad to see someone go out like that. For example, I watched some videos on Skid Row. People are pooping on the side of the sidewalk. It's disgusting. There's trash everywhere. And those things just unfortunately come with drug addicts. They're
No,
high.
that's not necessarily true. The reason why is because in those cities, what they've done is they have allowed drug addicts to do pretty much whatever they want on public sidewalks.
Well, that's
and
what you're
that
arguing for. Just legalize drugs, right?
Yeah, but the
No, but
issue is we're against public. That's the main reason why we're against public sidewalks, because when you have a situation when you have public sidewalks, you create a situation where the people who are in charge of that sidewalk are allowed to do pretty much whatever they want with that sidewalk and allow people to do what they want with that sidewalk, and even if it negatively affects you. So for instance, if they pass a law that says, hey, people could just do crack and heroin and set up a tent right in front of the sidewalk that's in front of your house and you have no say so, well, then you basically shit out of luck. That's why we're like, oh, well, everything should be privatized. And if you want somebody to be taking a shit on your sidewalk or doing drugs, well, then you'll be fine. And if you don't want that, well, then you could kick their fucking asses out of there with a gun.
Okay, well then I must have misunderstood you, because I thought you meant like legalize drugs and just do them in public. So you mean you can do drugs but only in your private property, in your own home, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
I mean, on
Okay,
any private property.
Well, any
where-
private property that you're allowed to do it on, like if you're at your friend's house or in your car or something like that, like, yeah.
Okay, well, I disagree with the car, as I stated earlier, but okay, now you're making a lot more sense. I thought you meant like someone could be walking down the road, shoot up heroin, and just be like acting a fool. Okay, I get.
Well, it depends on who owns
I
the
mean,
road,
a
but
private property owner could ban people from doing that on their road. I think that's Sithis' point. I agree.
yeah, like if you're on your own, like let's say you have like you're a private property owner and you own a toll road, you could be like, hey, I don't want drunk drivers or anyone with drugs on my property, and if you find out that you're doing drugs or anything, or I driving, we'll ban you from my toll road. That would incentivize people not to do that. But then but the problem with like public property, right, is when you have public property, it's run by the state, and the state can basically make whatever decision it wants, even if it negatively affects you and your private property. So if they say, hey, people could set up a tent right in front of your house, take a shit, and smoke crack, then you have no say so because it's public property. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're against public property, or the idea of public property, because it's bullshit.
But okay, so wouldn't this be unhealthy for? Wouldn't you just have like a fuck ton of crack babies, and this would just be super unhealthy for society then?
Not
Even if they're
necessarily.
doing it in their private.
Just don't have sex with a woman who does crack.
Well, that's gonna be kind of hard to do because everyone's doing
I
it.
don't think it's that hard.
I mean, why would- you
I've
seem
never
to
met
be
a
assuming,
crackhead
like-
woman in my life, as far as I've met, and most women that I've dated never smoke crack. But maybe that's
I
just
don't
me.
see why most people would start smoking crack or using similar drugs simply because it's legal. I think if you're already not doing crack right now,
I disagree
while
with
it's
that
illegal,
heavily.
are you gonna start doing crack?
I mean, if they just made crack illegal now, you're just gonna grab a pipe and just start smoking that
No.
shit. Like,
People aren't just like
No.
sheep, right? Like that.
I mean,
like,
we can. Here's a perfect example. Like with like rappers and especially influencers, people copy with what they do, right? And especially, and a lot of people don't copy what they do because, some people don't copy what they do because they're scared of taking the consequences of their actions, like going to jail and stuff. For example, like a lot of rappers drink lean, and here's video. And I saw, and when the lean thing came out, there was videos going out on the internet of children, unfortunately, drinking lean. Future. There's actually an interview with Future. Future. Future said he made a song, something about like drinking lean and doing drugs, and he said he was at a meetup with all he was like at a meetup, and there's like some kids there, like some teenagers, 14, 15, 16 years old, and they were all like, you know, talking to him, and he said the kids were telling him that they started drinking lean because of his music. So people are sheep, man. People follow what other people do. And
when you're talking
I mean,
about
imagine
children,
numbers,
right? When you're talking about children, obviously, like we disagree. Obviously, kids should not do cocaine or drugs or
Yeah, but they're
lean or
going
whatever.
to do it.
Now,
you gotta remember.
hold on.
Social media raises kids.
Let me respond. I get your point. I get your point. People are dumb and they listen to rappers and what they do because they're idiots. I get that. But the issue here is just like, yeah, somebody can influence another person to do drugs, right? But fundamentally, as long as they're an adult, they should be allowed to make that choice, even if it's a stupid one, even if it's being influenced by some dumb rapper. Like if I want to drink lean right now because I saw my favorite rapper doing it, I should be allowed to.
But yeah, it also seems like making substance, at least in some cases, right? Because codeine and promethazine syrups, right? What is in lean is illegal to possess, like just on the street, right? You have to be a pharmacist or whatever. But it seems like that being illegal for these kids and rappers to possess did not really help anything, though. It still happened. So I don't know if making these drugs illegal really. I don't think it does anything. I think you just create these black markets, which was mentioned earlier, where you're gonna have people selling these illicit substances, and they can't go. It's not legal for them, say, to go to court to resolve any sort of legal dispute they may have, and furthermore, you're just pushing up the prices of these drugs, and then people who are gonna buy them anyway are just going to be spending significantly more on them. I don't see how this helps anyone.
Yeah, these teenage kids are listening to Future and they're doing drugs, bro. It's not healthy.
Nobody here supports kids doing drugs.
I don't know what else to say. I mean,
I just listened to a Future song. He literally told me to go do weed. He literally told me to do drugs in that song. Like,
listen, I don't disagree with you that kids shouldn't do drugs.
Okay,
kids should,
like, if they're accessible and they're easy for adults to access them, then what the fuck are you talking about, man?
I mean,
drugs. I would argue. I could actually argue that drugs are more accessible to kids when it's illegal because drug dealers don't care who they sell to. They don't check IDs. Whereas, they could be anywhere. Whereas, like, if it's illegal, you would have to go to the store. You would have to go to the store where they check IDs. And if you're a kid, you can't just get it. It's much harder to get it.
But there's adults who buy alcohol for children all the time. So if you just legalize
but that makes
it, some adult can go in. No, an adult can literally go in a store and like, hey, let me get some crack. Go outside and give it to some like 15-year-old.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be as easzy.
That happens.
Crack is more
today.
addictive. Crack is more addictive than alcohol.
Well, because they would have to find somebody who's an adult to go to the store for them.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Whole life.
I mean, alcohol can be extremely addictive.
Yeah.
No, crack literally changes your whole life's projection.
So we should ban alcohol. Wait, alcoholic. Should we ban alcohol?
I believe that the only types of drugs that should be legalized are the ones that are non-lethal, right? The ones that don't provide so much.
So alcohol should be illegal then.
No, alcohol doesn't
like it's
wait, but you could die from alcohol. People have died from alcohol.
Can destroy your whole life. Like
alcohol could destroy your whole life.
No, you don't understand.
Let me say something.
Just a few crackheads, and like that's it. You're done. Like you're fucked.
You never heard of an alcoholic?
Doesn't make sense.
You know what an alcoholic is, right?
He has alcoholic in his name.
Alcohol is not addictive. You can let that
yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Absolutely is addictive.
Absolutely addictive.
Yeah, people go to rehab all the time because
it's not addictive. Alcohol. If you don't have any money to buy alcohol, then you're just forced to sober up. But with crack, it only takes
with any drug.
That's true for any drug.
You can't get a drug, you're not gonna use it. No shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It only takes a few grams of crack to just go fucking bonkers. Like what?
Yeah, alcohol is pretty cheap too, right? You can get alcohol for the cheap. Not that
hard.
But
the thing I'm trying to explain to you, Sithis and Cameron, is
that
if you legalize it, the way how I'm imagining it is, I'm trying to like really put into words, like the way how I view your world is like, yes, it'll be legalized, and the people who are doing it, you know, I'm sure. I'm sure some of us in here have at least seen people who have done drugs. Like they look like zombies, and the way I imagine it in your world, like there would just be drugs literally everywhere on the ground, on the street.
No.
Unless you're gonna have like a public, yeah, because if you're high and you're under the influence of drugs or anything, you're just gonna be careless. You're just not gonna care, right? And obviously,
That's if you can't just litter on people's property. That's a property rights violation, and you can be fined for that.
Well, yeah, but what if it's like hundreds, if not like thousands of people, like 3,000 people, 5,000 people are high and they're crack.
Well, then they
everywhere.
could make a lot of money. They could make a lot of money from you know, finding them or littering. Wait, so is your argument that like, oh my god, if we legalize drugs, people are gonna litter more often? Oh my god.
Yeah, that's bad for the environment.
Oh my god.
Like
Fuck the environment.
Wait, hold on, hear me. So children walking around the sidewalks with needles all over the ground is safe? Okay.
Oh my god.
Are you saying that private property owners, like,
but that's what's gonna happen?
Wait, are you saying
are gonna allow this?
Yeah, you
Like,
think
why would
private
they allow
properties
this,
are just
man?
gonna let
That'd be
people
terrible.
like, you know, just
Well, if everyone's doing drugs, you can't lock them all up.
You're
Yes, you can.
presupposing everyone. What do you mean everyone's doing drugs? Like, you keep presupposing this.
yeah. Like if we made heroin legal, if we made heroin legal, are you gonna just go and do heroin?
I have the belief that if you legalize something, more people are gonna try it than if it was illegal. Because
if we made heroin legal, are you gonna try it?
Because there will be no consequences. For example,
There should be no consequences.
Hold on, listen. There's some wait. Just listen. There are some Democrat states that are doing this, and they have reported that they were giving out quote unquote safe doses of meth and crack and heroin to these drug addicts.
They weren't doing that.
Right?
They weren't doing
And
that.
they're
They weren't doing.
I don't know if that's
They
true.
weren't doing it. Then why was somebody in an interview saying they was?
I watched the interview. They were getting fake needles. They weren't doing that.
They were getting needles.
I don't know if that's true or
Yeah,
not.
they were getting needles.
Well, I heard an interview that said something else. I heard an interview that said something else.
Personally, I don't like the idea of tax dollars going to pay for drug addicts. Personally, but that's just me. But
look,
I don't like the idea of tax
what I'm
dollars
trying
in
to say is
general.
I
You know,
think people-
yeah,
I think-
100%.
I think people will be willing to try something if it's more legal because whether they like it or if they don't.
But you
there will
didn't
be
answer my
absolutely
question.
No consequences to their
You
actions.
didn't answer my
because-
question.
What? What's
So
your
if we
question, bro?
if we made heroin legal tomorrow, which are you gonna just go shoot up heroin?
Me personally, because I'm not into that. No, but probably somebody else who would. There's probably
Yeah, I
some
don't think
people
that's
who are
I don't
on
think
the
that's just how that
there's-
works.
No,
They
listen,
may try
I think
it,
there's
but
people
they're
who-
not just gonna become
Yeah,
addicts
that's what I'm
overnight.
saying. People might try it.
I think people
might
should be allowed to
it.
try drugs. Yes, I think that's fine. I
Okay.
think people should be allowed
Okay,
to.
and if they try it and they get addicted to it,
That's on them.
right?
That's on
Okay,
them.
yeah, and then your society and your population is gonna be full of fucking meth heads and heroin
Good.
addicts.
Good.
Yeah,
I
think
want it.
most people.
How is that good? Because you're not gonna have a productive society if everyone's
No,
walking
people
around
who
like
do
a
meth
fucking
are going to be
zombie.
more productive because they're because you know meth is a stimulant. It gets people
Have you
more.
ever seen a meth head just sleeping? Okay, all right. I don't know what else to tell you.
Meth is a
dog.
stimulant. It makes
meth
people
gets
work
you a lot.
more. If we, I think that like jobs, what they'll do is they'll start passing around meth pills in order to like get them to get more higher productivity and like I think that'll
So
be.
we're
fun.
gonna have slave labor and just drug them up until they just die of.
I mean, bro, my job gives me caffeine. But can't you know what I'm saying? Like they're pretty much drugging me.
I mean, caffeine's
They're drugging them up.
Yeah, bro. I like so my job. I work at a beer distribution center, but they also distribute like you know the energy drinks and like the high like and they have like really a lot of caffeine. They'll have like 200 milligrams of caffeine in a can, right? They pass those things out to us like it's candy. You know what I'm saying? So that's so I don't think there's anything wrong with that personally. I think that's fine.
Does anyone else in here disagrees with Sithis, bro?
It's
Am I the only one?
Sithis.
I disagree, just completely.
All right, take over the argument, bro.
I think he's realized he's lost, and now he wants you to take over for him.
No, I'm just bad at arguing, bro. I just don't know how to explain.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you, bro. It's all right.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I suck at arguing. I'm trying to learn, but the best way I'm trying to explain to you is in my personal opinion, and I truly believe I'm right. You're just gonna have a fuck ton of a high population
that's
of
fine.
crackheads, meth and cocaine. Well, I'm trying to explain to you.
Wait, delete. I have a really important.
Oh my, y'all just cutting me
No.
off.
It's alcohol is legal
The point
today
I'm
in
trying to
America,
explain to
right?
you is, look,
No, it's a
look,
good
man.
point. Alcohol is
I
legal
know-
today, right, in America?
Look. The thing I'm trying to tell you is that I personally seen it. Like I have personal friends who are crack babies. You feel me?
Why
And
don't we
their
have
lives
like
are
a
I'm sure
a
they're
huge
fine.
alcoholic epidemic right now? If alcohol is
look,
legal in America,
We do.
Look,
do we?
Look, what I'm
Really?
trying to say, what I'm trying to say,
How is
is
that?
this, bro, is that I personally know some people who are crack babies. I personally know
I'm
some
sure they're
people
fine.
whose dads are a crackhead and stuff, and their lives are completely shitty. And the thing I'm trying to explain to you is that if the population en masse is doing this en masse, these drugs en masse, you're gonna have a fucked up population. You're gonna have like literally fucking Down syndrome crack babies, bro. All right.
That's only, bro.
Like-
That's only true if you do crack while you're pregnant. Like that's not.
Well, crack. I'm talking about. I'm not saying. Yeah,
You think like every woman is just gonna start? Every woman who's just pregnant is just gonna start smoking crack?
You think pregnancy? Wait. You think pregnancy is gonna stop your addiction?
No, obviously, but I'm just saying that
Okay,
like
so
you
you're gonna
think
have a fuck ton of crack babies, heroin babies,
oh
meth
my
babies.
yeah. I don't think that's
Like, literally,
necessarily
they're gonna
true.
be fucked in the head.
I don't think that's
Why
necessarily
you think?
true.
Why you think it's illegal for moms to drink alcohol while they're pregnant or smoke cigarettes? You're killing the baby. You're fucking it
Yeah,
up.
but wait a
You're gonna
minute.
have
It's
Down
legal.
syndrome
It's
crack baby, bro.
legal to drink alcohol, right? But alcohol and
Not
cigarettes
when
is still
you're
legal.
pregnant. No. Not when you're pregnant, though.
Okay, but it's still
Not when
legal.
you're pregnant.
It's still legal to buy them, even if you're
No, it's
pregnant.
illegal to drink alcohol.
But not when you're
It's child
pregnant.
endangerment. It's illegal when you're pregnant.
It's illegal when you're pregnant.
I understand that it's
Because you're
illegal.
fucking
It's
up your baby.
hold
You're
on. Can I finish my statement, please? I understand that it's illegal to drink while you're pregnant, but it's not illegal to go to the store and buy alcohol. Like if I wanted to, if I was a drunk woman, if I was a woman, I could just have my friend go and buy me alcohol and then drink alcohol, right? As I'm pregnant, like alcohol is still legal despite the fact that women could drink alcohol while they're pregnant, right? So making alcohol illegal isn't just going to stop people from drinking alcohol neither while they're pregnant either.
The point
So
of banning things, Sithis, the point of banning things isn't to stop the addiction or to stop it.
By the way, almost all states don't have anything against any law against drinking while pregnant.
oh really? I don't know. I don't
Look
really
it
I
know.
up.
thought it was a form of child
That's
abuse.
bullshit. That's bullshit.
The states
Actually,
that don't even have
yeah.
it as drinking when pregnant, they just count as child abuse.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. It's child abuse. It's child endangerment.
But
But that's
even
it.
that is very few
Go to
states.
jail. Fucking up your baby, bro.
But I mean, putting that aside, I mean, do you think that we should ban alcohol now because we can have because of
we should ban
hold on,
alcohol
let me
because it's
finish.
bad.
Let me finish. We should ban alcohol because of the possibility of drunken grandmothers that might
No,
we're gonna have
I
all
think
of
we
these
should ban
drunk babies. We're gonna have all these drunk babies.
No, there's more to it. Part of it, I agree with you. I think that we should ban alcohol as a whole because I think it really fucks people
We'll
up.
go back to what happened
horrible.
during
It's
Prohibition.
gross. It's disgusting. Look,
Yeah,
all I
remember
can
the
speak on
Cal
is my personal-
Capones?
Look. All I got is anecdotal experience. All right, I know whatever. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. All I got is anecdotal experience. I seen what alcohol can do to people. I like I said, some of my friends are literally crack babies. Their lives are fucked up. I can only speak on anecdotal experience, and I've seen that these people's lives are fucked up. And I feel horrible because the crack babies that I'm friends with, it's not really their fault. They have
I'm
like
sure
all
they're
kinds
fine.
of fucking issues.
I'm sure they're
No,
fine.
they have issues. No, they have mental issues, dude.
I'm sure
It's
they're fine.
insane.
I'm sure they'll
Okay.
be okay.
No, they're not.
Listen, fundamentally,
No,
I
they're
think if
not.
I want to take drugs,
Bro,
if I want to take
my
just
buddy-
because
bro,
hold
my
on, let me
buddy's
finish.
10 years
Let
old
me
playing with
finish.
Thomas the Train.
Let me finish. Just because I
No.
take it no, let me finish. Just because I take a drug, right? And legalizing drug might increase the likelihood of a crack baby being born. Does not mean that we should stop every single person, even people who aren't pregnant, from doing drugs. If I'm not pregnant, why should I stop people? Why should I be stopped from doing drugs?
Okay, well,
I'm
I'm
not
not saying.
pregnant.
No, I was naming like branches off of that. The main reason why we should stop is because it's bad for you. It's unhealthy for you.
I
It's
should
going
be
to
allowed
create a
to. I
horrible
should be allowed to
it's
do
gonna
things that
create-
are unhealthy for me.
It's going to create a lazier population. The economy is going to collapse because nobody's going to be working because
Well,
everyone's
it depends
fucking
on what
high.
drug you're taking.
To an extent, sure, and depending how much of it are you taking. If you're
Yeah.
taking a little bit, then probably not much. But
What if I
most
want to
people
take
are gonna get
LSD so
addicted
I
and they're gonna
can?
take huge.
So I can. What if taking LSD helps my my mental capacity or whatever? You know what I'm saying? But it's illegal. You know, that's productivity that could be going up. But because it's illegal,
For that? Where did you get studies?
Yeah.
At LSD?
You would
I don't know,
have to
bro.
bring
I'm
up
just.
the
It's just a
studies. You have to bring up the
hypothetical.
scientific
I'm just
studies.
I'm just a
But
hypothetical.
the point I'm trying to
agree.
prove to
I'd
you
agree if it was
that-
for like scientific reasons.
I
like,
don't really
drugs
know.
should be
I don't
legal.
actually know if that's
guys.
true. I'm just.
Increase, like scientific like.
Let's say okay. So let's say hypothetically, there's like this limitless pill like you could take, like you could take it and it expands your mind or whatever, right? But it also gets you high, and they banned it. Like that's productivity that could be created, but
Does this pill
it's
kill millions
banned.
of people? Does this pill kill millions? Does it kill millions of people?
No, but neither does
Not being banned?
LSD. Doesn't kill people.
I was talking about drugs in general, dude. Does this pill? You're making an allegory for drugs. Does this pill kill millions of people per year, dude?
No, I don't know.
Exactly, exactly, dude.
But even if it did, it wouldn't change my mind.
Yeah, driving kills tens of thousands of people. We keep it around
Yeah. Should we ban cars?
for a year in America.
We should ban bad drivers. There you go.
Like, God, like
Yeah,
you know,
but
like,
you know how many bad
should we-
drivers there would be if cars were banned? There would be 0 bad drivers because there would be no cars.
Should we make processed unhealthy foods illegal? Because that can lead to like overconsumption and people getting health problems,
don't
heart
overdose
problems
on
from
fast
Yeah,
food.
sure. If it's killing
Yes, you
then-
can.
Yeah, we should ban.
Oh, no, how are you
McDonald's.
figuring out?
Overdose
How are
on
you
fast
figuring out
food.
which foods to ban?
You may not overdose on fast food, but
Look
it's
at the
definitely really
ingredients and the
heavy. It's
chemicals that they're
definitely not
using.
healthy for you to eat fast food a lot.
Trust the government.
Well, of course it's not healthy, but you're not overdosing and then fucking like ODing. You're
Yeah,
not
there are people-
You may
ODing
not
on fucking
quote
burgers,
unquote
dude.
There are
overdose from
people
eating
with-
fucking fried chicken, but you could get a heart attack and your
You can
arteries
get a heart
clogged.
attack in like 20 years of eating fatty fast food burgers, but you're not gonna
Yeah, it's gonna
Okay,
kill
but
you,
it's still
right?
bad for you.
instantaneously after
gonna
eating
kill you,
3
right?
Big
It's still
Macs,
bad for you.
It's gonna kill you, right? So get rid of it.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of it. It could kill you.
Yeah, get rid of it. Yeah, I agree with you. Get rid of
Yeah.
it.
We need to. Okay,
Oh,
so
God.
ban cigarettes, cars, McDonald's. What else, guys?
No, not
You're literally
cars,
just
not
strawberries.
cars.
Holy shit.
No, that's what he
Commenting,
said.
it's a
Why not
thing.
cars? It kills
What
a lot
about
of people.
sports? Like people get traumatic brain injuries from boxing and football. Should we ban?
Yeah,
those
no
sports?
exports, no skateboarding because skateboarding, like
No
people
fun.
break their legs a lot in skateboarding.
You crack your skull open. while
Yes,
skateboarding.
no fun.
Ban it.
Exactly, no fun.
Hold on. No, can you actually answer the question? Like,
No
should we ban these
masturbation.
sports that can result in traumatic brain injuries.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Sports that can no. What? Oh my gosh.
Like
People,
football,
a lot
like
of
the-
people
like
who
the
play,
other dude
a
said,
lot
y'all
of people
strongmen in
who
my
play
opinion.
football end up having like this one
What does
disease,
crack gotta do
neurological
with the
disease.
NFL, bro? What is crack gotta do
Because
with the NFL?
hold on,
Bro, I
You're
don't-
not understanding. You're not understanding. People who,
You're right, 'cause
who
you're
play
strawmanning
football
me.
have a much higher chance of getting a chronic brain injury, which fucks them up. It can I'm sure it can kill you, but it also just severely affects your cognitive abilities.
Yeah,
Should
and they
we
make
ban
for-
such sports?
And they're making new special helmets and new special shoulder pads and the gear that they
It doesn't
wear to
help.
protect
It
them.
doesn't.
It's
It
like
doesn't.
still
It doesn't
happens.
change.
I've
It
heard of this
doesn't.
happening.
Yeah, but it would have less of a chance.
Does it?
Way
Okay,
less of
but
a
there's
chance.
still a chance. There's still a chance. That's like saying. Oh yeah, but if you snort heroin as opposed to inject it, there's less of a chance of you overdosing.
Most drug overdoses occur as a result of, at least from what I know, as a result of the drugs such as like cocaine and whatnot being laced with small amounts of drugs such as fentanyl. That's what often causes overdoses, as I understand it. So if we were, right, to, as we say, legalize drugs, the chance of, you'd probably have these stores coming in, right? And, wait, did he leave? Oh my god. Okay, well. My point was going to be that if you legalize these drugs, you'd be less likely to have these laced drugs going around because companies would be incentivized not to sell these drugs. due to reputational
Yeah,
damage
yeah.
and legal issues. But and so if we were to do that, we would lower the chances of drugs being deadly. So then, should we allow drugs? If he's
Yeah.
saying that these advancements in football equipment could reduce the chances of getting these brain, you know what I mean?
100%.
Now that guy was like not understanding our point. He kept thinking that like we were saying he was saying these stupid things about driving. We were just no, obviously he wasn't. We were saying clearly that that's where his reasoning leads him to be. If he were consistent, right? But that's he wasn't consistent.
Yeah, I just think that he's a normie, and that's kind of like the normie way of thinking. You know what I mean? They
guess
view
so.
it as consistent, even though it's not. You know?
Yeah.
They have these like arbitrary
'Cause
standards.
It's a lower chance of this happening. Okay, it'd be a lower chance of you overdosing on some cocaine you might sniff, since it's probably not going to be laced with fentanyl if it were legal. Because what store is going to sell fentanyl laced coke, right? That would be fraudulent, arguably.
Yeah.
And so then, if the chances are lower of you ODing, then do we legalize drugs like coke and heroin? Because you're less likely to die, just like you'd be less likely to die if you're wearing some special equipment while you're playing football.
If we
Or get
legalize
a
heroin,
brain injury, I mean.
you know, we could figure out a way. Oh, what's up, Tomris?
No.
It's not hard to pronounce. It's just how it looks. Tomris Bitjase. It's exactly how it looks.
Tomris.
What's going on? How are you?
What
I
do you think
disagree. Hold on. Let me.
Go ahead.
Legalize all drugs, guns, and prostitution. I agree with one of those.
What do you disagree with?
Guns. I mean, I don't. It's nuanced, but like at the end of the day, like yeah, I think people should be armed.
I said, which one do you disagree with?
Oh, drugs and prostitution.
Alright, why?
Which one?
Whatever you want.
We talked about drugs last time, so I'll do prostitution. I think like sexual stuff, for lack of a better way of saying it, is like we don't really have a way of like just like it's kind of like not really worth talking. Not worth. Sorry, I can't talk. It's
okay.
hard to put it into words, and especially when you're talking about like making prescriptions for like policy and like society and stuff like that. It's just really hard to like talk about because it's like really dependent on the person, and it's really kind of innate, and it's like reptilian kind of. You know what I mean? So
Wait,
the thing is that
reptilian?
when you, I'm sorry.
Did you say reptilian?
Yeah.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm saying it's not something you should buy from someone else. Is what I'm saying. Is that it's like to tie something like
I don't know
that-
who you
so-
are to tell
wait, hold
people
on,
what to buy.
To tie like something like sex to like capital and to like tie that to like trading with people. Obviously, people like within similar socioeconomic whatever situations are gonna like end up sleeping with each other. But my point is that like paying for sex is just like fundamentally just not good.
It seems like that's just your opinion, though.
Yeah, but yeah, like just because
Not really
something's
for the reason I just said. That's like that
just
phenomenon
because
that I just
something's
talked
not
about, that
good,
applies
you may think
to
something's
everyone,
not
right?
good doesn't mean it should be illegal. You know, like
Yes, it does. What are you talking about?
So you think that like what? Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask about alcohol. How do you feel about alcohol being legal?
It should be illegal. The thing with alcohol is that it's a practical thing, and if you look at prohibition, the reason that prohibition didn't work by and large is because people just like law enforcement and stuff like that wasn't willing to go far enough, and like people just drank. Like the society just had alcohol as too much of a part of it for them to stop drinking. So the thing is that like I would support alcohol like being illegal, but like obviously like we wouldn't be able to do it tomorrow because that just like wouldn't be like.
But ethically,
feasible,
you would
know what I mean?
support banning alcohol.
100%. Yeah.
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
So no prostitute. What about porn?
Absolutely not. No.
Why not?
Really? Why not?
That's damn near worse than prostitution. Yeah, because porn is like I don't have to tell you this.
Wait,
Porn, you don't have to
do
pay
we
for it.
ban
So, yeah.
porn? So we do ban porn?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's much more of a priority than prostitution.
So we ban porn, prostitution, cigarettes. What about fast food?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we should.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
definitely.
Damn.
We should definitely
So
have
what-
a fat tax.
So like what?
Do you think a city
what
equals a law?
what can I do when you're what can I do in your society? Like
I guess fuck off. I don't know.
No, you can do things that aren't like objectively harmful.
Can
Yeah,
I
but
play
what
football?
if- what if
Could I-
actually get a traumatic
wait, how
brain
about
injury?
like can I am I allowed to climb Mount Everest?
You guys are talking over each other. I'm sorry.
Can I climb Mount Everest?
Yeah, sure.
Isn't that like objectively harmful?
Well, among other things, that's in fucking Nepal, so I don't give a shit because that's in Nepal.
Crazy
so.
higher death rate.
No, I
What if-
obvious like assume
what about
like let's
huge
say
mountains in
Oh, because
America?
actually, no. I'll tell you why. Because and like this goes back to like just kind of culture and like its innate subjectivity. But like just because it's subjective doesn't mean it isn't important. Like climbing Mount Everest should be seen as like an athletic like accomplishment that like you don't necessarily have to climb Mount Everest, but like looking up to people like that should be like a good thing for people to do. People shouldn't look up to people who drink alcohol and pay for sex. That's the difference. You know what I mean?
We should look up to people who put themselves in harm's way.
If it's for like a something that we deem valuable as society, like athletic accomplishment, right? Which is at the end of the day when you're climbing Mount Everest, that's like why it's impressive, is because like it's like hard to breathe and like it's like hard to climb and shit like that. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. I understand
isn't
that.
that just completely dependent on what society feels? Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. Is that just because that's what
So
society
Isn't it
feels,
impressive to go through a fucking
So let's say
withdrawal
society-
and live through that? You know?
Let's say society deemed it to
No, because
be.
I don't want people to look again. I don't want people to look up to alcoholics, even if you can come off. Even if you can like stop drinking. Like I don't want people to
I
look
want
up to
people
alcoholics
look
and like
up
want to
to
be
Let's
like.
see,
You
D-
know what I mean?
going dying
Wait,
off the hills.
Dev.
What about
Dev.
fascists?
Well, guys. So, let's say people looked up to a bunch of people looked up to a guy who could drink a whole bunch of beer in a short sitting.
Yeah. That's not good.
Would that then make it okay from your perspective to let that guy do that?
To what? Sorry.
To let that guy drink a lot because drinking a lot, a lot of people look up to that.
You shouldn't. I mean, I already said ethically you shouldn't be able to let people drink. You shouldn't be able to sell.
Yeah,
alcohol
but
to people.
that's kind of conflicting with your whole idea that like we should allow people to do things that other people look up to, even if it harms your body.
Yeah, and I'm saying a good society doesn't value someone, like doesn't look up to someone on the basis that they can drink 40 beers in a day. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but you don't get to
Whether or not-
you don't get to determine what society likes. Let's assume that that is the case. Like, then would that
Something
make it
has to
okay?
be seriously wrong with your society for that to be the case. So then I would address the social issue.
How do you determine that?
How do you? Yeah.
I mean, just wait. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I know what. How do you determine what?
How do you determine whether your society is good?
If it's cohesive, that's probably the best indicator.
Cohesive? What
yeah,
do you mean by
because
that?
I wouldn't like. Yeah, like I would expect like people to have like a pretty, to trust each other. The classic indicator is like not having to lock your doors at night, right? People tend to not
Could
like
you not
lock their
have that?
doors. I'm sorry.
Could you not have that like in this a society Sithis is describing where you have these people or this guy who drinks a bunch of beer and people look up to him? Like you could still have a cohesive society, whatever exactly you mean by that. In that sort of situation, I don't see why you couldn't.
I mean, yeah. I guess if you're talking about like, I'm trying to think like Finland or something, Finns
Or Scottish
notoriously, like-
people.
They drink a bunch of beer. Wait.
yeah.
Yeah,
known
like
for,
the
they're known for
Europeans.
like
Allow
drinking
an
a lot,
addict
and
on
it's
the
like kind of this
street.
part of their culture where it's not necessarily seen as like antisocial.
Do they
so
have a
kinda-
cohesive society according to you?
No, of course they do, but the thing is that we're not Finland. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
know,
that's
but we're not.
Sure, but it
we're
seems
just
like-
we're speaking in general. Like obviously, like you know
Well,
what I'm
it's going to be
saying.
different from
Human
society to society.
sacrifice.
Like if you look at like Native American society, like the tribes and shit, like they like alcohol is not good for them in any way, shape, or form.
Well,
So
how about
it depends
this?
on the.
There's
it
some
depends on the
societies that
society,
look
that's
up.
the whole point. Is
that
that just
there's some
because it's
soc-
subjective to the society doesn't mean that like you just like throw it out the window. Like that's still.
So
like,
how do
something,
you
know what I
determine
mean?
whether they're good or not?
How do I determine whether society's good or not?
Whether that society is good or not? Like you have to have some metric.
I just said that it's
about cohesiveness.
cohesive.
I don't really know what
Because
you
people-
mean by that.
People trust each other. People do
So
stuff
people trust
like,
each other?
within their community.
So
and,
let's
like,
say we have a society of people who trust each other, but they also smoke and do heroin. Would that make it okay for them to do heroin?
if they genuinely have a functioning society and like they have like a above replacement fertility rate, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I thought you said earlier that the aughts are what should make the laws. Am I wrong?
They are, but at the same time, you can't implement like if I was to implement like how I think society should, or like if someone was to implement their vision of how like society is supposed to be like overnight, like it just wouldn't work because you have to like gradually do it. So I'm saying like within what we're talking about, like before you can like have a society based on a certain belief, you have to have a society, right? Like you have to have a society that like knows itself, and then you can go from there, right?
I think the issue is that I feel like you're sacrificing or giving up way too much of your freedoms in order to achieve this, idea of like, oh, I can do what I can keep my doors open at night. Like you're basically saying like, oh, in order to have a society that where I actually keep my doors at night, we need to ban alcohol, cigarettes, beer, all of these drugs or anything that might increase the likelihood of you doing some sort of criminal act. And it's just like, sheesh.
Yeah, in general,
like, how valuable
I would
is
say
this to you that
the negatives of alcohol outweigh the benefits at a societal level, at least in the US. Again, maybe if you go to Finland where they've like have a like specific drinking culture they've been doing for like 2,000 years, it might be different for them. But I'm saying in America, between like drunk driving and alcoholism and like chronic health issues and acute health issues and like violence and like everything else, like you cannot tell me that alcohol is a net positive for our society. If you want to say that, we can go from there. But like,
but I would
the whole
say
thing is when I'm talking about if anything should be legal, at the end of the day, I'm not talking at an individual level. Like I'm talking at a societal level. I'm talking at the level of like everyone, like not just, you know what I mean?
But I think the criminalization of drugs causes a lot more harm than it helps, especially in the United States. So, for instance, 90% of the gun crime in the United States is done on gang violence. And if you look at the main reason why a lot of these gangs have weapons is because there's a $1 billion industry that that the state basically handed over to them because they've made it illegal for anyone else except for people who are willing to commit crimes in order to sell those drugs. They're basically handing that market to them. So when you do that, they because there's a added risk factor because of the state, they have to claim territories, gather a bunch of men, arm up, and then they pass that cost on to the consumers. And then whenever a gang goes onto another person's turf and starts selling, or there's some dispute, there's no court. You know what I mean? There's no mediation. What they do is they start shooting each other. And all of 90% of the gun crime comes from that.
Yeah, so that's we talked one time, and you made this exact same point. We had the conversation we're about to have right now. Like most of the things that get reported as gang violence, like that makes it seem, at least on paper, that that's like gangs going to war against each other over like territory or like like turf or something like that.
But why? Because they want to sell drugs and they want to sell guns, drugs.
It's because
you want to do illegal activity, and it's extremely profitable for them to do that on those areas.
You're missing my point. They're not fighting over who can sell drugs where. They're fighting over someone disrespecting someone. Like that's where like
it isn't that simple.
That's within. Hold on. That's within gangs. Like, and especially like if it's gangs like rival gangs doing it or whatever. On paper, it looks like they're going to war against each other, but in reality, it's just like a fucking random dispute that
so basically what you're saying is gangs don't shoot each other because of drug disputes. They only shoot each other because that guy looked at me funny,
Yeah, essentially.
No, that's just, I don't believe that. Fundamentally, there's a $1 billion industry.
Believe it,
hold on, let me explain why I don't believe it. There's a $1 billion industry, right, in which they're selling drugs. When you have people who gang up and they sell drugs on certain turfs, if another person comes on that turf and starts selling drugs or trying to recruit people to their gang or anything that might be associated with making them lose profit in any way in that drug field, then that there's not going to be a court in which they can go to mediate the situation. They're going to shoot each other, and that is a large contributor to why a lot of these gangs are fighting with each other. This whole idea that this is a billion-dollar industry. This is a billion-dollar industry. You think that these people are just sitting around with their hands in their pockets saying, yeah, we're going to fight because, you just looked at me funny. No, they're doing it because they want to protect their turf in order to sell drugs and be the only one in the market. It's for money.
Don't they have their own
I can only that might be true for like certain kinds of criminal organizations, but like I'm talking about like inner city like black gangs, because that's like when you're talking about like gangs,
I'm talking about gangs in general, right? When you talk about
at least where I come from, virtually all of the gang violence.
I'm not listening to me. I'm not saying not saying that you're wrong. Hold on. I'm not saying that you're wrong as in that these people don't ever shoot each other because they have disputes with each other that aren't
where I come from.
With gangs.
That's 100% what it is.
But all I'm saying is that this whole idea that they don't shoot each other over these drug turfs, which is a billion-dollar industry in which they are making tons and tons of money on, is ridiculous. The reason why do you think that gang members have turfs? They have turfs so that they could be the one. So that they hold on. Listen. Why do you think gang members have turfs? The reason why they have turfs is so that they could be the only one to sell in that area.
I don't think you understand what you're talking about. When you like in 2020, that might have been true in like the 80s. In 2025, and like I know because I grew up in like a city, right? In 2025. If you want to buy drugs, you get in your car and you go to your drug dealer's house. You don't need to go to the guy down the street. So all of this stuff you're saying about like gangs like shooting each other over turf and stuff, like you can say that.
You saying that doesn't happen? Wait. Gang members don't dispute. Gang members don't dispute over turf today. Is that your claim?
They do, but that's not the majority.
And the main reason why they dispute over turf.
Not true.
And the main reason why that is the majority of the crime.
Why don't the drug gangs have their own mediators
over like petty shit? That's like what causes
they don't have
most
mediation
of the
because they don't have any legal way of going to any court to settle their disputes.
Why do they need to use government courts then?
I'm not talking about government courts.
Why can't they just make their own?
Well, because they don't care about it.
They would get fucking shot by the government.
Yeah, they'll get shot by the state. That would be illegal.
Have arbitration dispute. Try to have arbitration over illegal drugs. Is that a genuine question?
They don't need the government's permission to have arbitration, do they?
Oh, over illegal drugs?
Drugs, they do, yes.
Yes, that's illegal.
Why do they need permission?
They wouldn't be able to in the first place.
Because the state will stop them. Because what they're doing is illegal.
Just do it without their permission, then. I don't.
Well, how do you think
why they need the permission of the state?
Yeah, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Then they're going to be. Then the state's going to come in and stop them.
Yeah, the state will try to stop it. That's the reason
why.
Yeah,
but they sell drugs anyways.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, dude. So like this whole again, a lot of these gangs they fund their operations. Where do you think they get their guns from? Do you think they buy it just out of their own pocket? They buy it from selling drugs. Where do you think they get these weapons from? Where do you think they get these cars from in order to do the crimes in which they do? They do it from selling drugs. If another person starts selling drugs in the areas in which they claim to own, that's not a conversation between two lads. That's not they don't go to court. That's a shootout.
They can sell the drugs.
And if you don't believe that that's happened, and if you don't believe that that's happened, that happens, then you're just sadly mistaken.
The first part you said is true. If you see a gang with a bunch of guns, it's reasonable to assume that they got those guns from selling drugs. I agree with that first part.
Okay.
The second part doesn't follow though.
It doesn't follow that people who are selling drugs in another person's turf are going to shoot each other.
No, it doesn't follow. It doesn't follow that because they have the guns from selling drugs, that they're using those guns to kill people over drug things. That doesn't follow. They're using the guns to kill people.
Follow?
Wait, no. They're using the guns to kill people for completely unrelated things.
So you don't think that? They're just buying guns just to shoot each other. It has nothing to do with turf wars with drugs. Oh yeah.
It's disputes over illegal goods in territory. That's literally
like
most of what happens.
Over non-payment.
In the U.S.,
Why
that
does
might be,
most?
that
Why
might be
do
true
most
in
of
other
them happen?
places. In
Most
the
of these
U.S.,
shootings
in
happen.
inner cities in
Respectfully,
the
I think
U.S.,
you're just
most of the
you're
violence
just out of touch.
is not
Wait,
because
hold on,
of
let me
like
go.
drug turf disputes or something. That's just not true.
Why is most of it done?
Dude, I've said it like 5 times. It's like petty disputes. It's like
Over
random
what?
shit. Like someone
what?
calls someone a bitch or something. That's like most of it.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's highly unjustified.
It's true though. It's factually true.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Probably-
You
doesn't
can say it's
justify
not
Hold on.
true.
I
but,
think
like,
in most of the
like,
time they're in rival gangs that sell drugs.
not
They sell
necessarily,
drugs,
dude.
they sell
Not
illegal
necessarily.
goods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, a lot of
Not
these
necessarily.
gangs
No,
have,
they
like,
although
buses
90% of the gun crime in the United States happens not because they want to protect turfs in which they can sell drugs on. It happens because this guy was looking at me funny.
You
Yeah,
can
well,
say it in a
that's not
funny voice,
okay.
but that's just like objectively true. That's like
Okay.
objectively true. Like
Okay.
According to what?
You guys
Okay,
have
I mean-
never been around black people, have you?
that's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I've
That's
never been
exactly what
around
I'm
a black
saying.
person. No.
You've never been around black people.
I mean, if
No,
it
it's-
weren't illegal, it'd be a lot less violent. Like what happened with Prohibition.
Yeah.
Like as soon as Prohibition ended, the gangs went away for alcohol.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. If the gangs that were shooting each other during the Al Capone gangs weren't just shooting each other because of just selling drugs, or selling alcohol, it was simply because of you were looking at me funny. Then why did
That was a different situation. No, I agree with you. But that was a different situation.
why did the crime go down after they legalized drugs or alcohol?
No, because that's actually what we're talking about. That was people actually killing each other over like what you're talking. That wasn't the same
It's because
situation.
they could
That's
use
why.
government
okay.
courts now without going to prison.
Like the fucking white people on the fucking Canadian border shooting each other after Prohibition ended had absolutely no reason to stay there shooting each other, right?
Okay. So
Yeah.
So if we legalize drugs, you would say people would still shoot each other at the same rate.
Crime would go up. Crime would go up significantly. Yes.
Okay.
If you don't believe me, look
They'll
at
go
Portugal.
down.
No. Portugal.
So
tried to
if
do
we,
this 15
when
years
was the
ago,
last
and it,
time?
like,
When
it-
was
no,
the last
dude, hold on.
time? When
It
was the
blew
last
up
time you
in
seen a
their
CVS
face.
pharmacy? When was
What,
the
did
last
they-
time you seen a
did
CVS
they
pharmacy
tax
do a
it to death
shootout?
or what?
No, Portugal
tax-
literally
they-
their rates of addiction and homelessness like skyrocketed because
What, did they-
drugs became
they didn't
decriminalized.
legalize
They
drugs.
didn't legalize
They didn't
drugs.
No,
They
they didn't. They
decriminalized
decriminalized
it.
them.
Did
They
they
decriminalized
tax
them.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
They decriminalized them.
decriminalizing
You need to legalize
decriminalizing
the
makes it
industry.
worse.
Did they tax it though?
And
Because,
yes,
you're
and they
gonna get
taxed
a
it.
black market of even let's say cigarettes if you have way too many taxes on them.
Not only did they tax it, but they regulated it too. They taxed it,
Well, that
regulated
would
it, and
explain-
only decriminalized it, which kept
Yeah,
well,
the
that's
black
gonna-
market
that's gonna
while
shoot-
also making it expensive.
That's gonna shit up the price.
Yeah,
Exactly,
it
which makes
blew
things
up in
way
their
worse.
face.
That's why we don't believe
cannot-
in.
Made it way
That's
more
why we
risky.
don't believe in decriminalization. We believe in legalization.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you need permission from the government to sell things.
I don't think you should
No,
either.
you should be.
I don't
if you
know
want
why
to,
people-
if you want to
I
sell
don't know why
fentanyl to
people-
like, if you want to sell fentanyl to people for recreational purposes, you should be put in jail.
I think
you
that
shouldn't.
it's my body, my choice. If I want to do
Why?
fentanyl, I should be allowed to.
Why are they your slaves? We don't
They're
get to do
not,
it
again,
with
at
their
a
bodies.
societal level, that causes more harm than good. There's plenty of people who, if you give them fentanyl,
How are
they
you
use it
doing this?
responsibly.
Choice to be
That's
made.
not most
Wait,
people. though,
can I
okay?
ask a
How are
question?
you figuring this out?
So let me ask a question real quick. So basically, you're saying whatever brings more societal harm to good, we should ban that, and whatever gives more good to society and less harm, then we should keep that. So let me ask you.
I said that,
Yeah,
go
let me
ahead.
ask. Yeah. So let me ask you a quick question, real quick. So let's say there's this beautiful utopia, and in this utopia, there's basically no crime. There's abundance of a beautiful abundance of resources, and
Based.
there's like. It's all a bunch of white people. It's beautiful, and just as you could imagine, yeah, right? And let's say, but the only way in which you could keep this utopia is by doing a weird, once a year, this anonymous group of people has to go into a basement and do a weird satanic ritual in which one of them has to be forced to rape a dog. Do you believe that that person should be forced to rape the dog in order to keep the utopia? Or do you let it collapse?
What's the population of the utopia?
As many as many as would make you say yes. Millions.
Yeah, if it was like reasonably sized, I'd say the size of any city I've ever lived in.
Yeah, so we need
I'd
to.
say, yeah, it'd be worth it.
Okay, so now let's say you are the person who's being forced to rape the dog. Would you say that you are obligated to rape that dog?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you're obligated to rape the dog.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. No problem.
The trap, bro.
Wait, no. Kings. It's the exact same thing as if we went to war with fucking. Wait, hold on. If we went to war with fucking China, and like in that war, like 1% of the or 2% of the people who fought had to die. It's the same thing. Like it sucks, but like that's what we have to do in order to like not like. In order for things to be like good and not bad.
Somebody has to rape that dog.
It's not like the soldiers
Okay,
get peace.
gotcha.
It's not like they're at peace with doing the rape or something, or like.
No, they're not. But at a societal level, it's worth it though. Like it sucks to
And
say.
you would come forward and say, you know what, guys? For society, I'm willing to rape the dog for you guys.
Yeah, like I said, it sucks. I don't want to do it, but like at a societal level, yes, it makes sense.
No problem.
You should replace the dog with a
Makes a
woman.
lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense, guys. Right? Makes that sense. Makes a lot of sense, guys. Right?
Replace the dog with a woman.
Well, I would.
Yeah, let's replace a dog with a woman. Now, would that make a difference or?
The population required. The population of the town would have to be significantly bigger than the dog. But yeah.
Billions.
Yeah, there's a number.
Let's say this is you ever watch Star Wars? Let's say it's Coruscant.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh God, you ever saw Star Wars?
I know I've seen Star Wars, but it's
okay,
been a
you know
while.
the city planet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
an entire planet that's a city.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It'd be worth it.
Okay. So let's say instead of one woman, it was like 20 women, and you had to rape them like in a row. Would that make a difference or no? One by one.
If it's an entire planet, yeah. I don't really know where your mind's
So like
going with this, but yeah.
how far like how many women would you be allowed to rape
gay?
before like you would say no, I don't think it's okay. So like 10 women, 20 women,
Oh my
30
God,
women,
dude,
40 women.
There's a number, but like I don't really.
Wait, but what about?
I don't like thinking about this. Like there's a number I could give you. If you want to keep saying numbers, I'll like.
So like
I'll give
50
you one,
women,
like,
would 50 women make it okay? Like 60 women, 100 women?
What's the population of the planet? What's the population
Like the
of the planet?
Coruscant. I said it's like hundreds of billions.
Give me a number. Give me a number.
Trillions?
Billions.
Give me a
100
number.
billion.
Okay,
a trillion.
100 billion.
A trillion.
Billions and
A
billions.
trillion.
$1 trillion.
1 trillion.
Commerce, how do you figure out like what number these hypotheticals?
It's the same way you figure out like medical ethics and stuff. Like if there's a surgery, like at a certain point, if there's a surgery where a certain percentage of people get like some serious complication or die, usually you can't legally do that surgery, right?
What?
You didn't actually answer the question. You just referenced like surgeries, medical ethics.
Well, it's the same thing. That
How do they figure it out then?
well, yeah, like there's a percentage of people who it's acceptable to like, for lack of a better word, sacrifice in order to like have like,
The ends
less
justify
people
the
dying from a
means.
disease or whatever.
And how do you?
So it's the
and
same
how do
thing.
you
It's the
figure
same
out
thing
the
at the
number?
society. It's the same thing at the society. Dude, I don't know. You just like you
Okay,
figure
then
out.
I don't know how to figure it out. Like, you might say, oh, you can only rape 20 women to save a city of a few million.
No, here's how
Obviously,
you
I'm
figure it
just
out.
using a
Here's how you
random
figure it
example, but hold on, wait, no.
Hold on,
What if
hold
I
on.
say, no, you can do 100? Like, arbitrary. So I can just put out whatever number I want.
No.
1,000.
I'll clarify. The way we figure it out is you said the population's 100 billion. You give me numbers until you find the number that I would put the limit at.
And you ask me the same thing.
Why
Maybe I'm
can't you
also
just tell us
taking
the limit? Why do we
utilitarian-
have to?
No,
Why
no,
do
no.
we? Why do we have to be like one woman, 2 women, 3 women is okay, 4 women is okay? Why can't you just tell us the number?
Because I don't like thinking about this, dude. I don't want like, like
And then you ask someone else the same question. They give a completely different number. How do you know who's wrong?
no, because dude, I've already illustrated what I'm saying. That there's a number, and that number would like make sense somewhere.
Numbers
No,
random.
it's just like
You,
how
like,
do you
go
find
through-
how
like,
do you
that's
find that number?
It's random.
Oh my god, it's not
The numbers
random.
are randomly
I don't
determined.
want to go. It's a tedious process that like takes a
right
while. That I
here.
want to do.
I
it
don't think
fucking
there's a
Discord call
process you're
right now.
doing. It's just based
Yeah,
on your
like
personal
how?
whims.
What process are you how are you figuring it out?
Again,
Is it
you
just
give me
like, is it
numbers
your whim?
until I arrive at like. If you gave me a number right now, I could say it's like acceptable or it's not acceptable. So you just have to keep
And
doing
then
that
I
with numbers
say,
until you find
and
one.
then I say the opposite of you. How do we know who's right?
What do you mean? How do I'm right?
I say the opposite
a
number to what
constant.
I
Okay,
say
so,
a different
like,
number than what you said. Excuse me.
I
So
say 100, and then
it's a
Cam says
constant.
50 people. Like, okay, so there's like a Coruscant planet, and I say 100 people, and then Cam says 50 people. How do we determine like which one is right?
Yeah, just be at a societal level. It depends on what the society values.
So society dictates truth.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a
So like if
percentage
society
right
says
there.
They don't
3,000 women,
dictate
Society
truth, but they
desires
dictate like how we
society.
do things, right? They dictate like the
They dictate-
attitude towards how
No,
we
they're
do things.
dictating what number is the correct number, right?
Yeah, their attitude is what we
Okay,
do
so
at a
society
societal level.
dictates
Yeah.
the truth, and at least in some
so
situations.
society
You're not-
dictates the
you're
correct
bringing
amount
truth
of
out
rape.
left field. I didn't say that.
They decide the correct amount of rape.
More drug addicts. Is that good for the society or no?
I don't know what it
Obviously.
means for something to
Right
be good
and
for
wrong's not
society.
determined by
And
popularity.
If you decriminalize drugs, do you see more drug addicts in the future or less
Yes.
drug addicts in the future?
Or we're legalizing drugs,
More.
not decriminalizing.
But we should legalize drugs.
I don't really care to the answer of that question. Because
But
there's
logically,
actual
you
victims.
would see more drug addicts in the future.
Well, even
And,
if that's
just
true, there's no
because
actual
society-
victim.
Yeah, but that's like saying if we legalize cars, there's going to be more people getting into car
There's
accidents.
there's
It's
actual
like, so
victims.
what?
There's a lot of that.
If we legalize backyard pools, the amount of people who drown is going to go up.
A significant number of crimes are related to drug abuse.
Should we ban backyard
Do
pools?
research.
The only guys that should be banned are things with actual victims.
You could be a victim of a pool.
Well, I don't know. If
people-
you
Oh,
legal,
no, you
what about if
can't.
you
also
legalize?
Yes, you
Right.
can.
Victim- Someone has to commit aggression against you.
What about if you legalize?
And then
Well,
if
I
you're an
agree,
adult,
but
you're
if you do
committing
drugs,
aggression.
you're not aggressing against anyone. So why should
Dude,
that be
you're
illegal?
You're missing the point. You're missing the point, dude.
What do you
I already
mean?
said this isn't about. No, I already said this isn't about individuals. This is about society. For an
Fuck
individual,
society.
for an individual, hold on. For an individual that can responsibly do heroin, like it sucks. Like I get it, but like just because you're able to do heroin doesn't mean we should make it legal for everyone in society. Like we shouldn't do that.
Why make it
It's not
illegal
worth
for
it.
me to
Okay,
do it?
you can make that
It's not
argument
worth
for
it, bro.
kids.
It's not worth it, bro.
But we could say
You
that
can
about
make that
McDonald's. You
argument
could say
for
that about
minors.
McDonald's.
You could say it about McDonald's. I would say it about McDonald's.
So
It's
it's
not
just
worth
like,
it, bro.
oh, well, too bad. You know, I know you like McDonald's, but
What
you know,
about sitting
fuck
around and
you.
watching TV all day?
Yeah,
Like, that's
fuck
probably
you.
unhealthy.
It's hard to legislate that, but yeah, theoretically.
No TV.
Yeah,
You could
Bro,
legislate.
you want us to go to why don't you go live in fucking North Korea, bro? What are we, a motherfucking communist China? What the fuck kind of shit is this?
Bro, check my tags. I'm definitely not a communist.
Bro, what are you in
You
motherfucker?
sound-
No,
no, you
bro,
are-
you
you're a
sound
commie.
like
You're
you
a
are a
commie.
North Korean
Bro.
dictator, bro. That's what you sound
You're a
like, bro.
commie.
Yeah,
This
bro.
is the
Holy
thing
shit.
that- this is the thing. Yeah, I don't know, man.
No, you're talking about like
North-
we need a ban
North
move
Korea-
too much
North Korea-
TVs. We need to ban this. We need to ban alcohol. We need to ban McDonald's, cigarettes, backyard pools.
He really thinks that the government owns all the land or something.
Read some laws.
Sounds
and
like a
totally
great country.
bullshit.
No, I think that's like that's
Do
the
you
most.
think-
You,
do you
are
think
probably the
government
most
owns
like you and North Korea, Kim Jong Un would like get along. You guys
You
should,
should move to North Korea, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Just move to
Holy
North
shit.
Korea, bro. They'll love
North
you there.
Korea,
I-
if they weren't communists, would actually be pretty based. If they like did what they were doing,
North
They're
just
they're
did
not
it.
communist
Communist,
anymore.
yeah.
They
How would
don't
they
call
know
them
you
they
guys?
don't call themselves communist.
like meth.
No, they're like leftover from the USSR and just like how they do things. Like I don't like their
Because they're a bunch
like
of fucking
values and
socialists.
stuff. Like
Yeah,
that.
bro. They're
Sorry?
pretty much
Government
it's the
is
same.
actually-
Socialism, fascism. It's all the fucking same. It's statism.
I'm more talking about like the state kind of like doing everything as far as the economy and like their emphasis on like the military kind of having
Bro,
Bro,
priority
you
over
say all this, but you're on
Choose
Discord right
anything.
now.
Bro, you
like-
literally
Based.
say and do all the things that like North Korea does. They ban fucking cigarettes,
I'm not
alcohol,
North Korean.
fucking.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, bro,
What the
that's
fuck
what you need
business
to
do I have
go
in
there.
North
You need to
Korea?
go check them out.
I'm a
I
white
think you'll-
dude in the U.S.
I
Are
think you should
retarded?
check them out,
Like,
bro.
what the fuck
You
are you
can
talking
go.
about?
There is a white. You know, there was a white guy that defected to North Korea, and they let him. They let him
Yeah,
stay.
he's fucking retarded because he's not.
Why
Korean.
not, bro? That's you. That should be you. You like you. That's the life that you want to fucking bring here, bro. North Korea.
Go where you want to go.
Yeah, that's like your life. That's like your fucking paradise right there, bro.
Aren't we debating something here? Like, what is your stance on legalization of drugs? I'd like to hear that.
Oh, I think we should legalize drugs, but sadly, I gotta go to bed because I gotta wake up early. So I'll see you guys all later. Okay? It was fun talking to all of you.
All right.
Have a good night. All right, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys later.